on the move. CUB, one of the world's great brewers. Westpac, you can bank on Westpac. McEwen's, you can do it with McEwen's. And 4 and 20, the great Australian taste.
On AFL today, the Sydney Swans play host to Fitzroy at the SCG. Both sides have suffered major dramas off the field, while injuries have taken their toll on the field. Very little separates both these teams, but today, pride is at stake. Who will it be, the Swans or the Lions?
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the SCG on an overcast, cool afternoon here in Sydney for a most important game for these two teams. It'll have very little bearing on the premiership ladder, but as I said in the opening, pride is at stake for both Fitzroy and Sydney. Both have struggled for wins this year. Sydney have even struggled at home. Incidentally, in the reserves today, it was a big win for Fitzroy, and there was some good news for the Lions because Richard Osborne, coming back after that dreadful knee injury, kicked 8 goals in their winning score of 17-12 to the Sydney Swans 9-15. So that is one good piece of news for the Lions. Coming up later on in the month, of course, is the mid-season draft. Again, we will see a shuffle of players throughout the league. Let's take this report now from Bruce McAvaney on the draft.
The Bears have released the two Harrises, Bernie, who's expected to retire, and Ben, who will probably join veteran Mark Williams at Port Adelaide. Carlton put 2 on the list, including Butts. Collingwood 3, with O'Brien at the top. The Bombers, a quartet of players. Fitzroy's trio included Bolson. At Footscray, O'Keefe is playing for Werribee this Sunday and Collins for Port Melbourne. Rickman, back at Williamstown, played for the VFA against the ACT last weekend. Geelong's trio included ex-Demon Brett Bailey. The Hawks list is long, but they're all in the under-19s. Melbourne has Chris Connolly again sidelined with a crippling knee injury. Bingham is on the list for North Melbourne and Lounder for the Tigers. The Saints, veteran Elphingston, who's expected to retire. The Swans, a couple of under-19s in Ogier, and the Eagles, just Ellis.
So plenty of shuffling coming up shortly, but it was interesting to note that Mark Williams wasted little time in his return to the South Australian National Football League, playing for his old team Port Adelaide. He booted 3 goals yesterday in their big win. Joining me in the commentary position today will be Ian Robertson and the master of the chalkboard, Don Scott. We'll take a break and be back with all the action shortly.
Again this year, all the top footy action will be coming to you on 7.
Fitzroy, their greatest winning margin was back in 1961. That was 103 points. And Sydney, we go way back to 1935, and their greatest winning margin was 81 points. Joining me after a very peaceful Ansett flight to Sydney. In fact, Don dozed off. Don Scott and Ian Robertson. Welcome, gentlemen.
Good afternoon, Sandy. And who dozed off, Sandy? You were delightful company, let me tell you.
Let's have a look at some teams.
Yes, well, there is going to be a change in the Sydney team, Ian, because we know Michael Filan didn't take his place in the reserves, but Sydney playing their cards very close to their chest, so we don't know who he is replacing.
The back line for the Swans, Henwood, a very strong player, Starbuck, an ex-Carlton under-19s player, and Fitzroy's full forward line, they rely heavily on Paul Roos to kick goals up there.
Lloyd coming in, one of those not unsung heroes, but a real battler up here. Cordy having a brilliant season, and it's good to see Matthew Wheeler back in. Lynch, a promising player. Lyon, a good player for Fitzroy, and Broderick very skilled on that half-forward line.
Centre lines, of course, the right in the middle, Eustace and Wine for their respective sides. A lot of importance in getting the ball out of the centre here at the Sydney Cricket Ground.
And Mackesy used to wear number 12. He's been around Sydney for a long time. Bernard Toohey has been picked in that state team. Leon Higgins, another talented player, but lacks a little bit of concentration. Gale, a real tough. I'm impressed with him on that half-back line. Brett Stevens, not as good as last year. He's really got to work to his optimum. And the former Footscray player, Mark Aythorne.
And Sydney, of course, there's a new player there, young Luff, who is coming in now for about his second or third game. Shane Fellows kicked 25 goals. And Fitzroy bringing in a little bit of inexperience to their fullback line, Bunn and Rowe, along with a tremendous player, Gary Pert at fullback.
And the rucks, and this will be very, very interesting because last time we saw Giant Ironmonger up here played exceptionally well in their State of Origin game for New South Wales against Sparling, coming back into the side. And two good performers for Sydney, one good performer in Healy, a good performer for Fitzroy, Clayton, Mitchell and Dundas, who's been elevated to first rover.
Of course, the interchange players, one doesn't really know whether they'll take their place in the 18. West is a good player for Sydney, and Kickett finally settling at Fitzroy.
Right, thank you, gentlemen, for that report. As Sydney make their way out onto the ground, Fitzroy are already out, and the Swans come through their banner, which reads, "Winning begins today." Well, rain has just started falling. We'll take a break and be back with a look at the forecast and, of course, the first quarter.
The biggest jump up the ladder occurred from round 3 to 4 of the 1979 VFL season. Collingwood were last on percentage with one win after round 3. The next week they established their record 178-point winning margin against St Kilda, kicking 31-21, 207, to the Saints 311-29, to move into third position after the completion of round 4. First gamer, Peter Dacos, was one of the stars with 28 possessions. As I mentioned, overcast conditions for this clash today. Both sides have 3 wins for the season and both are desperate. Cameron Williams is going to be keeping us up to date with everything that's happening on the sidelines and in the rooms today, and he is the local man, the local expert as far as the weather is concerned. So perhaps, Cameron, you can tell us if it's going to pour down throughout the afternoon.
Yes, Sandy, I'd willingly trade places with you today. I can tell you that it's starting to fall now, the light rain that's been predicted to fall throughout this match, and quite miserable conditions really here. The temperature at the moment 13 degrees, but it's getting chillier by the minute. The humidity in the high 60s. The wind is gusting up to 20 kilometres an hour, and although the general direction is towards the members' end goal, there is no real goal advantage. It's swirling around tremendously. The ground in quite poor condition, very boggy in the centre and at the goal squares, and a tough slog for both sides today.
Yes, I think it will. Thank you, Cameron. Actually, Don, it's interesting to look at the ground because, I mean, besides the mud patch, isn't overly bad, but the ground has that dead look about it, doesn't it?
Well, it has, yeah, Sandy, and I think it has been cropped or mown rather short. And as we know, and as you'd know, being a farmer, grass doesn't grow in the winter time, and this cold weather is not conducive to growing grass, Sandy. And you can see the parts where they do train, and it's quite marked that they do some type of exercise up here because those parts of the ground are worn more than others. The boundary line is quite good over the boundary line. The grass is quite lush there. But there's 3 teams that train on this, the thirds, the which are the under-19s, the seconds and reserves, so it really doesn't get much of a rest.
Paul Roos and Bernard Toohey coming over for the toss. Well, it hasn't stuck in the mud. Toohey and Sydney are going to be kicking to the left of screen.
So if that's the case, if Bernard, who I was trying to pick up the player, Gerard Healy, might be in the side.
Gee, they've had some blows, haven't they? They've had some real body blows as far as injury is concerned. Both have. And on a sad note, Don, Fitzroy wearing the black armbands today, and a tragedy for one of their past champions in Ross Thornton.
Yes, Ross and Denise Thornton, and I think everybody who has a family or children really can appreciate. Oh, well, we really do send our sympathies. They lost their baby, Kobe, 3 months old, and Ross, a great player for the Fitzroy club. He's now captain coach of Paran. He's 10 years at Fitzroy and a winner of their best and fairest at 1985. A life member, and really, Ross and Denise, we really do send our sincere sympathies.
Yes, he's been a great player and a great bloke. So all our sympathies to Ross and family. Well, Ian Robertson, what do you think about this game? Pride is on the line. Who do you think can take it out?
Well, I think Fitzroy have got a good chance. The Swans, of course, will be desperate. They usually surprise everyone up here in Sydney, whether it be a surprise loss or a surprise win.
Well, they've been pretty enigmatic up here this year, haven't they?
Sandy. Yes, I've seen a couple of their games, and they beat Melbourne, and they beat Geelong here when Geelong perhaps controlled the game for most of the night. And of course, Footscray beat them a little earlier in the season. First win for Footscray in Sydney.
John Ironmonger hold the key for the Lions, do you think?
I think he's a pretty important player. Didn't he play a great game in the State of Origin match? And certainly his physical strength will help him in these conditions. Of course, Tim Barling's done pretty well for the Swans, so it'll be an interesting match up there.
Well, we're just about set to go. Of course, there is another game on today. That is between Footscray and Melbourne.
to complete round 12. I know several cities have replays coming up later this afternoon, so if you don't want to know the scores when we give them out during this game, then I suggest you pop into the kitchen and grab a cup of tea.
Interesting, the Fitzroy runner out there on the ground already, swapping players around or giving them some instructions.
So here we go. It'll be Barling and Ironmonger to contest the opening bounce. Ironmonger gets it at the second attempt. Wheeler tries to get through his claim. The ball was held and we'll have a bounce. Tim Barling to do the work again. Call of Timmy. He wins it. Down to Eustace, who gets a short kick, finds Ryan. Ryan gets the handball away quickly to Kelly. Kelly pushes it out wide to accommodate Shane Fell. Bird is in front of him and just paddles it towards the line, and he keeps it in play. Gains 25 metres as he dribbles it up towards the centre. No one able to pick it up for Fitzroy. It comes out from Eustace to Barling. Barling gets the handball away again towards Filan and up towards half forward. Ironmonger couldn't take it with the one hand. Fell goes round his body to the left forward pocket. This will be close to the boundary line. Gale is there and over he goes. Michael Gale, only a small crowd here today, but it is, well, this is winter now and it's pretty chilly, and these sides have been somewhat disappointing for their fans so far this season. At the bottom of the pack was Mitchell. Sydney, of course, without, as Barling gets claimed, without their 4 leading players in last year's Best and Fairest award, so it's a big chunk.
And Dennis Carroll, who writes a column in the newspaper, said that he could probably put a team that is unavailable on paper that could beat this side playing today. Unavailable players, about 20 of them they've got. The ball at centre half forward for Fitzroy. Attempted kick off the ground by Mitchell. The ball is held in, no, penalised there, and the free kick will go to the Swans to be taken by Mackesy. Mackesy quickly, wide, Baldwin's underneath it. Ryan, who's had 2 or 3 touches. Kick off the ground goes wide, and it's over for a boundary throw in. There's young Troy Luff, who the Sydney Swans are looking forward to bigger things from him. Unfortunately, only able to play a few reserves games, hurried in because of the lack of numbers. Ironmonger gets the ball down in the direction of Wind. Jimmy Wind striving hard. The ball comes clear. Now the chance is there for the Swans through Kelly. Kelly's kick into the forward pocket. It bounces just inside the field of play. So we'll have a boundary throw in quite near the 50-metre line. Looking at the reserves, Don, could you detect that there was a wind advantage? I know Cameron said there wasn't one, but...
Not really, Ian, because this ground really is surrounded by the stands, although we can see a breeze of flags are blowing to the left of screen, but not real advantage anyway.
So Baldwin comes out with the football for Fitzroy, gets the free kick at half-back. He kicks it out towards the wing, marking contest, high over the top, Neil Cordy, state representative in a week's time. The short kick, and the mark is taken there for Fitzroy by young Andrew Johnston. Youngster, 19 years of age, plays on quickly, kicks it towards centre half forward, and being shepherded out of the contest there was Lynch. No, it's going to Broderick. So Broderick takes the free kick from the 50-metre line. Long kick. It's just offline and through for a behind. So that's the first score of the match. It's a behind to Fitzroy, kicked by Paul Broderick, and to bring it back in is Wayne Henwood.
Affectionately known as the Moose. He goes to the outer side, and the diving mark going to be taken by Kelly, not claim. Play on is the call. He gives it to Mark Eustace. Eustace flicks it high up towards the wing. It's hammered down in front. Unable to pick it up initially was Baldwin. Socket clear to the wing. Working hard, Gale. Looking for somewhere to go. Wine on the boundary line. Claim. And we'll take a free kick just forward of centre wing. Jim Wine putting the Lions up towards the 50-metre line. They've had their injury problems too. We talk about Sydney, but Fitzroy have battled hard. Caught was Matera. Did get it out, however. In towards Wheeler. Lost sight of it. Quick to go over the top. Almost a great recovery by Dundas. Coming away again, however, is Ryan. Wide to the wing. He's started pretty effectively. Gives it to Stevie Wright. His first touch as he centres it in towards half forward. That's a good kick
And a good mark taken for Sydney by Mackesy. Plays on quickly. Eustace again, high in towards the pocket. Luff and Gale are both there. And the ball is over the line. Just the 1 point on the board at the moment. That's with the Lions. Tui. No one able to pick it up cleanly. It's pushed slowly around the line, then picked up by Clayton. Pulls it round his body. It's wide, and Wright takes the mark. On the boundary line, and 50 metres out is Stevie Wright. Good-looking drop punt, deep into the square. Ironmonger comes over the top, and as he rams into the fence, the ball is hammered over for one behind. So scores level, and under 20 minutes remaining.
Very scrambly start. Obviously players just adjusting to the conditions here at the Sydney Cricket Ground.
Well, it really does mean a lot to both of these sides, Ian. I mean, they could finish up just one place above Brisbane if they lose today.
Kick and so far, mark of the day, Ross Lyon. He plays on quickly. Just gets his foot to the ball, nearly equal by Matthew Wheeler. Seconds later, Lynch pulled off the football. Ball goes wide. Eustace coming in strongly now for Fitzroy is Woods. Woods approaching 20 metres, goes for goal, and he's kicked it. First goal to Fitzroy.
McEwen's Big League bargains are on. We're fighting for lower prices, like Wiltshire's magnificent Lawson 43-piece stainless steel cutlery set at only $49.99. You'll save a big $20. Plus, you'll get a Big League bonus Wiltshire 7-piece cake set absolutely free. Buy the famous Wiltshire Stay Sharp double knife set for only $29.99. You'll save $5, plus we'll give you a Big League bonus can opener free. But hurry, these Big League bonus bargains won't last long. So join the winners at McEwen's today. You'll find high-flying savings with Big League bargains store-wide.
Centre once again. The hurried kick out wide was by Johnston. Wheeler after that great fly. Possession now. Gets rid of it quickly. It went straight to Jimmy Wine. Wine across to Bunn. His kick is smothered. Sydney trying desperately to push it forward as Barling flicks it out wide to accommodate Kelly. He's under plenty of pressure from Gale. And we'll see a throw in on that outer side. John Ironmonger wearing number 6. Big, strong man. Kelly claimed. Eustace trying to smother, but it's pushed into the centre. And a push there. There's a free kick going to go the way of Sydney. Starbuck. In towards Fell. Pert at the back with that defensive fist, however, sees it safely over the line.
Gee, if he gets any kicks today, Shane Fell, he'll know all about it. Playing on that man, he's as mean. Gary Pert, terrific defender.
Great player, isn't he? Big ask here for Luff. And a Fitzroy free kick. As I mentioned, it's not a big crowd here today, but they're enthusiastic anyway. As Bunt kicks back towards centre wing, and in the way is Cordy.
He's having a great season, Neil Cordy, at centre half back. He started as a wingman at Fitzroy.
Plays on quickly, giving it to Leon Higgins, who flicks it up high towards half forward, but they're breaking down there because the mark has been taken by Brett Stevens. Stevens wide, he's got Woods. May get caught from behind. He does, but gets the hand pass away. Rose kick towards centre wing, and a good diving mark taken by Wheeler. Well, he's been in the thick of things since starting off. Wheeler's kick to half forward right. Clever use of the body. Gets his left foot kick just in time. Fell in front of Pert. The pack develops too. He gets it out to right. He flicks in towards goal, but he goes across the face and one behind. So Stevie Wright, his first score for the day, and Sydney's second behind.
Gary Pert to kick the ball back in. He goes to the outer side. A lovely long kick, and the mark is taken out there by Baldwin. Baldwin for Fitzroy. Kicks it high. Out towards the wing. Punched away a couple of times. Broderick gets it to Clayton. Goes back. It's on centre wing. Fitzroy player there was Bunn. Now it's up towards half forward. Mackesy. puts his head down. Stevens there for Fitzroy, can't control it, and it's taken over for a boundary throw-in. A play, about 2 kicks from the Swans' goal. They've had a couple of chances, maybe scrambling chances, but with 16 minutes left in the term, Ironmonger, big punch towards the boundary line. Higgins there, good bump. And we'll have a boundary throw in. The Fitzroy player there, young Johnston, looking for, no, it's not, it's Mark Aythorne rather, and perhaps looking at the umpire there. Unnecessary bump after the ball had gone over the boundary line. Here's a chance now for the Swans through Ryan. Ryan's kick is ill-directed. It was a poor one, really, because Matt Ryan was in the clear. And, Don, we always look for players to bring the ball back into the front of the goals in that situation.
Yes, I suppose he could have been attracted to the movement, and that was of Shane Fell. Fell led to the pocket, but nonetheless, it was a difficult kick from there to drag it back. But his intent should have been there. You're right, Ian.
Gary Pert playing in his 156th game. A long kick and a free going the way of Sydney. Taken by Aythorne. Kelly it is, in fact. Towards full forward. Tui the target. Ryan scouting. He's got to get it away quickly to right. Back again. It goes to Ryan. He flicks it high in towards goal. Good looking kick this. There's the first one to Sydney.
Well, Dipper, what would you recommend?
Quattro venti.
Quattro what?
Tender piping hot meat, bathed in a delicately spiced, exquisite gravy, then encased in a golden pastry envelope.
It's truth.
More 4 and 20s, maestro. Going right up. Quattro e venti.
4 and 20. Ripper, Dipper. Oi, can we see the beer list?
No worries.
4 and 20. The great Australian taste.
To get through, courtesy of Broderick, but eventually Higgins taken to the ground, and we'll have another bounce right in this very, very muddy centre. Umpire forced to throw it in the air. Big men again. Now it's Wine tapping it further afield. Kelly bumped off the football. And the Swans being penalised there, Don.
The umpires are red hot on that, but at least they're consistent. When you trap the ball, you must get the thing out, get it moving.
Dundas, promising youngster for Fitzroy. The kick to centre half forward, punched away. Fireland had it, then got rid of it quickly. Roberts, go Robbo, they say. Great racehorse in Adelaide, go Robbo, but young Ian Roberts there couldn't quite control the football, and it goes over for a boundary throw-in.
I wouldn't say young, he's in his 30s now.
He's young as far as I'm concerned, Don.
The horse. Both. Right. Gets Sydney out of trouble. He loves a run, and he runs it up towards half forward. Tui in front. Matthew Ryan scouting. Does it well. Ryan's kick up towards half forward. This time the Fell is out in front and takes the mark just inside 50.
Matt Ryan playing very well.
Had a great start. Has 1 goal to his credit. And there's the pass to Shane Fell. 22-year-old has kicked 25 goals this season and would like a confident start. Well, it's not a good kick off the boot. Dribbles through virtually for a behind.
Just looking at Gary Pert, he's been led to the ball on a number of occasions today. Gary Pert can get away with what he's doing if the ball is delivered in a high manner. But when a player's on a league like Fell was on that occasion, you cannot beat a player starting when you're behind.
This time he comes members side. That's not a good kick either, because it's fallen into the arms of Darren Mackesy. Quickly onto Eustace. Eustace centres in towards half forward. Fell again. Sneaking away.
Well, this is his go. He's not a big fellow. He cannot afford to hustle and bustle as I've seen him do in the past. He's got to be on the lead, on the move, and he does move exceptionally well, Fell.
From 50 again. Just make the distance, but it's got the accuracy. And there's the second one for Sydney.
Imagine this man's finger is your car's fuel injector. It sprays petrol into your cylinder and with your piston creates this explosion. But fuel injectors can clog, robbing your car's performance. That That's why you need BP Unleaded Petrol's new detergent additives to clean fuel injectors and carburetors and restore performance. BP, on the move.
So the bounce back in the centre. Sydney lead by 8 points, 15-7. Barling. Fitzroy through wind, a high kick. Goes about 6 metres towards their goal. It's punched further field. Ruse out from full forward. Kick by Eustace back in towards the centre. Vacant position there. Gale chipping in is Ryan. Bunn there. Now the kick comes out from Johnston. The kick now by Kelly. Coming through is Lloyd. Good play. Just couldn't quite keep his footing. Ryan another possession and very cleverly gets himself some space. The kick is high and a little short, the mark taken by Gale.
He's a great player on that half-back flank. He really backed himself when the ball was in the centre there and puts himself in. It's good to see Gale playing well.
Kicks towards centre wing, but that's as far as it goes. Mackesy couldn't take it at the first attempt. He's going to get another if he can get away from Stephen. He might do the shepherding work for Wright. Does, in fact. High. Now Purton fell. Oh, Pert! What a grab.
That's his go.
Tremendous mark by Gary Pert, but they've only got it down to half-back. Sydney's still a chance if Eustace can get up and get clear. On all fours he is at the moment. It comes out wide to Barling. The big man does well to get through. Gets the hand pass away. Here's a chance for Sydney through Filan. Shoots in towards goal, but he's off target. And another behind.
He's got a good football brain, Tim Barling. A good football brain. Out on the outer wing earlier, he tapped the ball on, summed up the situation very quickly and summed it up very well again.
Well, 6 scoring shots to 2 and some early concern for Fitzroy. John Ironmonger laying down the law. And in the meantime, Stevens is brought 50 metres closer to goal.
I was going to say when Don made his comment just a few seconds ago that there was some good work underneath the pack just a few seconds ago by Starbuck.
Brett Stephen, that's a good looking kick. Finds Lynch. So Alistair Lynch.
Not the most accurate kick.
He's going to go short. And some loose checking there because Andrew Johnston snuck away and is going to have a shot from almost directly in front, some 43 metres out.
I wonder if the stats are getting to Alistair Lynch because he's kicked 10 goals, 26 this year.
This is Johnston, the right footer. Well, he's going to struggle with the distance. And it's hammered over the line. Throw in the right forward pocket for Fitzroy.
And Don, the advantage of the ruckman dropping back there, the big fellow in the goal square punching it. Big Tim Barling doing the ruck work in the back pocket on Ruse. Roberts tries to get it to Wheeler. Wheeler had no room to move. Then he gave the free kick away because the tackle was a little too high. So, still bad luck there for Matthew Wheeler. He's still got
a couple of things to learn, Matthew Wheeler, and it's unfortunate he gave away that free. We could see there, he realised as soon as he grabbed in that the hand was high, he tried to rip it off, but the umpire spotted it.
I just think he's a little exuberant at this stage. Johnston, another chance, and he's kicked it.
For over a year, the FBI was on their trail.
2 maniacs who strike at random.
It was their most difficult case.
I'm starting to understand the way those guys think.
And it became their deadliest.
Let's take them. Move!
Every clue put them deeper inside the minds of the killers.
They are going to hit again. We'll be back.
Based on a true story.
Like an execution.
David Soul and Family Ties' Michael Gross are the terrifying killers.
I'm under a lot of pressure. Let's go to work.
In the FBI Murders, for the first time on television tonight, 8:30 on 7.
3 points the difference, favouring the home side, Sydney. Into this muddy centre again. A line ball. And held. Ryan and Johnston picked themselves up. And that gentleman keeping a very close eye on proceedings. Still in the middle, Ironmonger and Barling. Down to half forward. That was Lloyd. Here's Ryan. He has been the best player on the ground in this first quarter, just about. That time he's off target. And his contribution is 1 goal, 1. But he has been very, very busy.
Should have made more of that, Sandy,
yep.
really.
My word,
for a
2-5.
player. He's played a few games now, hasn't he, Matt Ryan?
And here's Gary Pert.
Nice hat, Neil. It's the winner. Got water all over.
Beautiful kick towards Ironmonger, who's forced to defend. This is Eustace. In towards full forward again. Pert at the back takes a good mark. Right, had to beat two of them, and he was unable to do it.
The water taken off?
Gary Pert.
Yeah?
Long and low towards his good mate Paul Roos, who gave a nudge, said the umpire. And so Cordy to take the free kick. Just forward of centre, he's got players running everywhere. Kicks into a fairly congested half-forward line. Ironmonger and Stephen both through. Luff tried to go through for Sydney, but couldn't. Wright gets the hand pass away. Here's Ryan again, flicking it round his body, and that is, again, a very poor kick. So no addition to the score. Look at Matty Ryan. 9 kicks and 3 handballs already.
Terrific performance by him. Got off to a great start, so Fitzroy will have to have a real good close look at what's happening with him, who's matching up. Boundary thrown in the right forward pocket for the Swans. Ironmonger, a big punch. Chance there for Bunn. He takes the ball over the boundary line. It's young Mark Bunn for Fitzroy. Ironmonger doing the ruck work, going at it a fair bit with one arm. Right, Clayton in the picture. High kick, out of bounds on the full. And Don, really, there's not a lot of excuses for the kicking. The disposal so far in this match has been pretty ordinary.
Yes, especially as far as Sydney is concerned. It's interesting to see the runner going out from Fitzroy, going over to Matt Ryan's immediate number, Andrew Johnson.
This is Ross Lyon after the kick out from Gary Pert. Lyon's kick is high. Big pack of players. Eustace waits at the side, but the umpire has picked out a free kick. It's going against Sydney. Jim Wine will take it. On centre wing.
Just held when he didn't have it there, Sandy. I think the anticipation of the Swans player that he was going to gather it.
Wine's kick into half forward. Lynch unable to take the mark. Lyon there as well. Pushed wide. Mitchell chasing. Kelly over the top. Towards Mitchell. Comes off his shin and eventually over the line. Is it? Eventually. So a throw in on that outer side with Sydney leading 2-5. Fitzroy 2-1. Barling and Ironmonger again. Wheeler away, but the whistle had sounded. And another free kick going the way of Fitzroy. And again it is going to Jim Wine, who's in some pain.
Well, he has done well since he's come back into this Fitzroy side, Jimmy. 18 kicks he's been averaging. And he's a much improved player since coming from Essendon.
There's his kick down towards half forward, or Henwood hammers it down in front, but straight to Lyon. He can go short. It was too short, however, and Sydney will get out of trouble through Higgins, who runs his full distance, then pumps it onto the left foot going over the centre. No mark taken by Stephen. His opposite number in Mackesy has a chance to go down towards full forward, over the top of Fell and Pert. It's the latter who's quicker to recover. Tries to soccer off the ground. Fell's overtaken him, close to the boundary line, and flicked wide by Rowe, defensively to half back, where Gale sees it go over the line.
Well, I'm impressed with this game. It mightn't be the most classical of the games. You can appreciate the pressure that these two guys are under. They're certainly having a go at it, and they want to get out of that second last position on the league table.
Ironmonger, he's like a windmill with that fist as he brings it round. Higgins loses a little ground to find Cordy. His kick drifting towards the boundary line. Ironmonger comes across again and hammers it over the line. The big man has a big job and is almost taken out of it on that occasion. Barling couldn't take it, neither could Roos. Barling bottles it up. He's at the bottom. Matty Ryan just coming across. Had a very, very busy first quarter. Darling and Ironmonger again. Clayton. Johnston's kick smothered. Wine. Well, he's picked up, what,
He'd have to be a chance for a Brownlow medal vote at this stage, wouldn't he?
Three free kicks in about 5 minutes. Here's his kick to centre wing.
The kick is high, out in the direction of Roos. The ball comes through the back. Dundas He can't break away from right. Striving hard was Lloyd. Now the ball gets clear. Fitzroy will go into attack. It's Ruse up towards full forward. No mark taken. Ball comes to ground. Matera round onto the right foot goes Matera. The ball may bounce through. Ruse has kept it in. It's still there. Opportunity now for the Swans to clear.
The umpire's called it back.
Gone over the line, yep. And a behind is registered for Fitzroy. So we'd perhaps give that to Matera because he did kick the ball. It bounced all the way close to the line. The goal umpire indicating that it had gone over. So Wayne Henwood will kick the ball back into play. He goes straight up the ground, Wayne Henwood, nearly to the centre. Here's a chance now. Woods gets it off to Clayton. Clayton's kick into the pocket and the mark is taken by Dundas. Now Fitzroy really rely heavily on the ball to be moved quickly. They've got some nippy players around the field. Johnston, Dundas, Woods, Matera. So, chance for Dundas. Lovely kick. Has it got the distance? It has. Dundas goals.
When you can buy an Australian-made car in LA, drink a Foster's in London, when the world is held hostage in Lebanon, and your TV comes from Taiwan, when your mortgage depends on decisions in Canberra, you worry about the price of the dollar and the continuing fallout from Chernobyl. When you live this close to the world and the world lives this close to you, everything is local news. 7 Nightly News with Jennifer Kite, weeknights at 6.
The Lions hit the front by 3 points in this first term. Sydney a chance to apply as Ryan has it at half forward. Matthew Ryan floats it goalwards and again they miss an opportunity. Well, he's kicked 1 goal too.
That must be his 11th kick.
Sydney have kicked 2 goals, 6. Gary Pert again. Looking for Lynch. Finding him. Alistair Lynch, one of the league's high flyers.
Just looking at Matt Ryan, he must have tremendous endurance. He's going all over the ground to pick up those kicks. He's just not a one-position player.
Barling took the mark, but plays on quickly to Wheeler, who goes up towards Shane Fell. Pert gets the fist away. Down in front was Athorn, who kicks it out wide. Leading in the chase will be Dundas, met by Roberts. Close to the boundary line. The question's asked, and the umpire comes in and decides that he will take charge. Ian Roberts at the bottom with Leon Higgins. So on the outer wing, Barling got the jump. The ball moves 7 or 8 metres and another bounce. Down at the bottom, Mark Athorn.
And it was a good contest, Sandy. Both players there putting their bodies in, obviously feeling that, or knowing that they were going to get a little bit hurt.
High towards the centre, difficult one to grab. Socket off the ground, almost through the hands of Wheeler. Lynch now, clever tap on, good work to Ruse. He's under pressure, tried to get the handball away. Henwood overruns it. There's certainly plenty of desperation here at the Sydney Cricket Ground at the moment. Look at Paul Broderick.
Yes, I think we've really got to understand that the conditions down at ground level must be quite difficult. That swirling breeze.
It's inside 50. Ruse wins it. Eustace defends. Loses a little ground before he swings round. Pushes it wide. Pressure on Higgins. He's got to beat 2 of them. And it is over the line.
Very lucky on that occasion because it was a 3-on-1 situation, Higgins being the odd man out. So it's a good thing it did go over the boundary line.
Boundary throw in, left half forward for Fitzroy. Baldwin, there's the siren. So the first quarter finishes here at the Sydney Cricket Ground with Fitzroy 2 points in front. The Lions 3-2-20, Sydney 2-6-18.
Fitzroy, 3 goals.
For Tasmania tackle Victoria, and then the big one on Tuesday, June the 26th, where Victoria will be looking for revenge after going down to New South Wales. They'll be desperate in that one, to be played in Perth against Western Australia. So great Foster's State of Origin, of course, on 7. Here at the Sydney Cricket Ground, it's quarter time, and in a close one, a tight struggle, Fitzroy lead, 3-2-20, Sydney 2-6-18.
Today's match is part of the CUB AFL 1990 Premiership season.
Of course, all the top sport is coming away on 7, and that includes Davis Cup action. After defeating New Zealand, Australia's Davis Cup squad are all fired up for the next tie. That will be on September 21, 22 and 23 from White City here in Sydney. Australia versus Argentina in the semi-final of the Davis Cup, and if you'd like tickets for that, they are available from White City, or you can phone by booking through Ticket Tech on 266 4800. I'll repeat that number for you, 266 4800. So, great sporting action coming away on 7. This is one game in round 12, the round being completed today. The other match being played is between Fitzroy and Melbourne, and we'll keep you up to date with scores on that.
And Fitzroy made a change. Paul Roos full forward now. Alistair Lynch out the centre half forward.
And here we go into the second quarter. Ironmonger wins it handsomely. At the bottom is Jimmy Wind again. Will he get another free kick? No, he won't. Just a bit of mud for his troubles.
Gee, you wouldn't want to fall over in that muddy centre and carry that mud all over your costume for the rest of the day. Terrible. There they are again, struggling to get the ball out. Wheeler for the Swans. Gets his right foot to the ball, kicks it wide to the wing. Wonderful gather there by Gale. The left foot kick by that player towards the forward pocket. And the mark is taken strongly in defence by Ian Roberts. Done pretty well to force his way back into the side. Of course, the numbers are really down here in Sydney. As I mentioned earlier, about 18 or 20 players that have played senior football unavailable through injury or suspension. Bad luck for them. Barling, Ironmonger, Mitchell, Stevie Wright. Now it's Barry Mitchell takes the free kick at half back for the Swans. So he'll kick them into their forward half. The high drop punt kick, marking contest. Ironmonger takes it in front of Mackesy, and there's a bit of rough stuff going on at close quarters there by John Ironmonger.
He kicks from centre wing and kicks straight into the man on the mark, and it is taken over the line. That was Darren Mackesy.
How would Mackesy be feeling?
It's a pat on the back for his troubles from Matt Ryan, who had that blistering first quarter. Ironmonger couldn't take it cleanly. Wine tries to flick it over the top. Kelly a chance. A hurried little chip up towards half forward. Stevens taps it away. A chance for Fitzroy to get out of trouble, though, through Andrew Johnston. Kicked a goal in the first quarter, and this time it is Matthew Dundas. He also kicked one in the first term. Paul Roos has been quiet. Gets round onto the left foot. Blow in towards full forward and across the face of goal for one behind.
Now the Fitzroy players all ringing the Sydney Swans fellows who are grouping at the centre half forward position or centre half back, depending on which side you're looking.
Henwood to bring it back into play, and is very undecided.
A lot of movement in the circle, Sandy.
And he just trips it into the pocket. Starbuck gets it away to Cordy. Cordy floats it high. Ironmonger having to spoil Barling from behind. That's effective. Mitchell shrugs the tackle. He's got Ryan running. Runs into Alistair Lynch, but then gets out. Back again to Eustace. He goes over the top to Tui. Tui's 70 metres out. Gets it over the 50-metre line towards Shane Fell. Can't trap it at the half volley after Pert came through. Another chance for Mackesy. Gets it high to Eustace. Eustace kick only travels 7 or 8 metres. Stevens takes it and heads wide, but too wide.
It's a good effort by Stevens initially to get onto that ball. Bad luck.
Sydney at the moment trailing by 3 points. Fell went too early. Pert waited at the back and he pumps it away back towards the centre, but only as far as Wheeler, who takes the mark. Plays on quickly with a hand pass away, and Sydney through Lloyd move it down towards their half forward line, where Troy Luff takes the mark. Luff from 53 metres.
No one there. Ironmonger at the back. Defends. Oda behind goes on the board.
Actually, he's had a meteoric rise. Luff, I watched him here in his debut game for the reserves 2 weeks ago, and he was quite a good player on that half-forward line. A very good player last week, and actually he's a former Victorian, although he comes from Nelson Bay up near Newcastle.
Kick in by Pert, goes 60 metres. Wine takes the mark and kicks Fitzroy into attack, and very quickly it finishes with Ruse. Just 2 kicks. Fitzroy have made a change. Coming onto the ground is Kickett, and going off is Broderick, and Broderick has tried very hard but hasn't been able to get his hands on the football so far in the match. Here's Ruse from 45 metres out directly in front. Paul Ruse, lovely long kick. He hooks it just a little bit, and with the breeze aiding, it goes through for one behind. So Paul Ruse gets his second behind, that is, and Fitzroy 3-4 lead the Swans 2-7. Wayne Henwood. Don, just while he's picking the ball up, do you think it's a good idea that there's so much hesitation, the full-back to kick in, just to kick the ball to someone on their own?
If you watch that, as I said previously, they're being ringed by the Fitzroy guys. There's a lot of movement in the centre of the circle, and consequently they can't go anywhere.
Well, that ball seemed to certainly hold up. Ruse, slow, but gets the hand pass away. Rowe in towards Kickett, who's just come on the ground. He snaps goal, but goes right across the face, and that ball is out of bounds on the full. Dale Kickett, whose future is a little bit up in the air. Henwood kicks back towards the half-back line, but only as far as Jason Baldwin. Distance would test him.
I remember when a man used to wear number 32, he was a big man and played in the ruck. Russell Crowe.
His kick is wide. Oh, Lynch again used a step ladder. Eustace gets the hand pass away to a teammate and put him under considerable pressure. The ball breaks free, and Kickett sees it over the line. So a throw in. Still in that right forward pocket for Fitzroy, and just 15 or 20 metres further away now after the kick from Starbuck as Broderick ponders. Barling doing the work from behind. Mitchell misses it. It's high. Ruse has got to try and get front spot. Can't. Henwood too strong.
He is a strong player, Wayne Henwood. It's a 50-metre penalty
against Matera.
He's done well today, Henwood. I know it's only early stages yet, but against Lynch, and Paul Ruse has got to move around because he's an exceptionally strong body player, Henwood.
Brings him into the centre. That ball sitting up in the breeze a little, and a good mark is going to be paid to Andrew Johnston. Gets it away quickly. This is Aythorne. High and wide towards line. It bounces away from him. Matera's under pressure. He's got to beat a couple, but may get a free kick. What did you think?
Well, I thought it was there. The umpire certainly convicting himself and didn't hesitate. And I thought Ian Roberts was lucky he didn't get a 50-metre penalty also on top of that.
Matera towards full forward. Henwood, a hurried kick. Ryan, well, he had a blistering first term, but has been quiet this term. Johnston towards full forward again, and the mark taken safely by Dundas.
Sometimes Rovers, not concentrating, allow their opponent to get clear like that young Johnston has with Ryan. As soon as the runner comes out to tighten up, Ryan conspicuous by his absence so far in the term.
Dundas plays on and has kicked it.
A long hand pass by Coghlan to Winmar is good, and the Saints go up forward. Here comes Lockett, and he's taken it 30 metres. Hang on, what's this? A Westpac $1,000 bonus saver football competition. Each week, Westpac is giving away a $1,000 bonus saver account, and all you have to do is pick up your entry at any Westpac branch in Victoria. $1,000. This is good news. Now let's get back to the centre bounce. Hang on, where did everybody go?
4-4 plays 2-7. Fitzroy lead. We've got 18 minutes left in this second quarter. And the Swans striving. Now they get it clear through Higgins. A little bit of help there from Kelly. Up towards half forward. Aythorne, strong in defence. Gets the ball over to Gale. Gale for Fitzroy. The short pass is effective. The mark is taken by Baldwin. Baldwin looking to force the player back on the mark. Now Higgins coming in to stop him from playing on. Baldwin, nice kick. 45 to 50 metres. The high flyer kick it, couldn't grab it. Now Lyon, left foot kick by that player into the pocket. The mark is taken by Roberts in front of Matera, and Roberts showing signs of frustration. He gets the hand pass away. He goes backwards. It's Starbuck. Starbuck now strong, long, wide, out towards the wing. Nearly the mark to Eustace. Good play by Young Woods. He dispossesses the Swans veteran, kicks it into the goal square. Ruse, can he pick it up? Yes, he gets the hand pass to Dundas, and Dundas kicks his third. Terrific play there by Paul Ruse. I thought they were going to mess it up, but eventually he gets the ball out to Dundas, and Fitzroy 5-4 leads Sydney 2-7.
Well, that all started because Starbuck went across the ground, but you can't blame Starbuck on that occasion because there weren't options up the ground, and he really did sum the situation up. And the only thing he could have done was gone out towards Eustace. Unfortunately, Eustace beaten, and the ball finishes up with Fitzroy and his third goal, Matthew Dundas. Now, one lady be very happy about that, his mother Hazel, back at Alexandra.
Still in the middle. And another ball up to take place. Barling and Ironmonger. Barling got a touch to it, but it's Wind who gets a kick only as far as Wheeler. Called to play on. Mitchell gets the quick hand pass away. The hurried kick was by Filan down towards the half-forward line, but they've struggled in this quarter to get it past there at the moment. Fitzroy defence tightening up as Johnston kicks it wide. Wind again, tackled, but gets the hand pass over his head. Kick it. And he does. To the 50-metre line, inside 50. Ruse in front. Henwood from behind with the big fist. But Stevie Wright running past is able to defend with Mitchell. Can he thread his way through? Yes, they combine well.
Oh,
to half forward.
Relayed free kick it should have been.
Yeah, they were lucky, weren't they?
The umpire
dumped.
Yes, my word. The umpire had the whistle to mouth, but just didn't blow it when Mitchell was hit behind the ear.
This is Wright again. To the right half-forward flank. And a good mark taken by Kelly.
Good-looking player, this youngster. Only played a handful.
Well, really hasn't fired as a rover. They're trying him on the wing today, the Sydney Swans.
Kelly's kick inside 50, but only as far as Stephen. Brett Stevens at half-back. Gives it out to Mark Bunn. Bunn goes wide. A chance for Wheeler if he's good enough. Was he holding on? The umpire said no. He's going to be beaten in the end by weight of numbers. Clayton gets a hurried kick. Kick it is loose across that centre wing area. Runs through half forward. Gives it to Lyon. Back again to kick it. Inside 50 and in trouble. But gets out of it. Gets a kick in towards full forward. This time Ruse is behind. Dundas, is he going to kick another one? No. Off target. 3 goals, 1. Out of the Lions' tally of 5-5.
Gee, that was nearly ball-by-ball training drill then by Kickett, wasn't it, going down there? Handball the line, take it back.
Very smart the way he got out of that tackle too.
There's Matthew Dundas in the picture there. He's kicked 3 goals.
Can't believe his luck today. And he's really having a purple patch.
It was a real chance to get his 4th then too. I thought he may have dobbed that, but not to be. 3 goals, 1 to his name. Henwood. Kick, Wheeler, mark, centre half back. Matthew Wheeler plays on quickly. Kicks it towards centre half forward, no mark. It's 3 on 3. Luff gathers the ball, gets the hand pass away. Swans are a chance. Kelly caught, gets the hand pass wide. Now the Fitzroy team combining Aythorne, Gale, and now Bunn. Bunn kicks the ball directly towards goal for the Lions. And nearly a great mark taken by Ruse. Eustace kicks the ball clear. Cordy's there. He combines well with Roberts, who's run up through back pocket, up to half-back. He gets the hand pass away to Wright. Wright's now over centre wing. Kicks it in towards the forward pocket area. Fitzroy get back there quickly, and Gale takes the mark on his chest. Luff, the player on the mark. Gary Pert gets past Matthew Ryan. And Gary Pert strides away. He backs himself again. He's got momentum. He could nearly get this again. No, he stops and allows Clayton to take it away. Centre wing or wide of centre goes Scott Clayton. In towards centre half forward. Fitzroy mark. And it's taken by Lyon.
Now, that all started with Gary Pert. Now, Gary Pert, on occasions, is too defensive, doesn't run up the ground. He's capable of doing it, but hasn't been doing it in past matches. And that's the value of an attacking full-back. And it was good play by Fitzroy. Now, Ross Lyon, unlucky to miss out on Victorian selection in the main game.
Lyon from 30 metres out, allows for the breeze, but it doesn't bring the ball back enough. And it's through for one behind. So Lyon, that's his only score at this stage, is a behind. And Fitzroy catching up on the scoreboard as far as behinds are concerned with the Swans.
And Luff off, Ian. He's only had the one mark, and he's being replaced by Jim West.
Sydney have managed just one behind so far this quarter.
Kick in, comes in towards the centre. Fireland, Ryan, kick off the ground. Eventually finishes with Gale. Gale streaming through. Strong play there by the Fitzroy defender. The ball lands at half forward for Fitzroy, but coming through for the Swans is Eustace. He tries to get the ball now to Ryan, successfully does so. Ryan's kick, Wheeler. Good play. I love the look of this guy. He's a real desperado. He has a bit of a dip. He's just a little exuberant at this stage. Eustace is caught with a football. Could be penalised. Umpire, good decision because he could see Fitzroy were going to take possession of the ball. Eventually he comes wide to Woods, and Woods kicks Fitzroy into attack. The mark is taken by Lynch. He plays on. Matera from 35. Difficult angle. He misses to the right. Wally Matera. He's kicked one behind, and the behind tally for both sides now equal. 5-7 Fitzroy, 2-7 the Swans, and there's young Troy Luff having a spell on the interchange bench. Now Henwood goes long, a big bomb out towards half back on this member's side. Punched away by Lyon, a good gather on the half volley by Baldwin. Kick it towards the forward pocket, kick it there, but Henwood strong, a big punch. Goes back in towards the centre where Bunn takes possession. He gets the hand pass away. Lyon talented, left foot snap by Lyon, hits the post. Well, Ross Lyon has kicked two behinds. He's had a couple of chances, but not to be. And a very, very clever player. 5-8 plays 2-7. And Henwood again. Well, the pressure's on there for Wayne Henwood up on that full-back line. The Lions could go in with a handy lead if they can keep this up in the remaining minutes of the second term. Matera leaves it for Roos. Mitchell there for the Swans, gets the handball at the back. Cordy goes straight across goal. The kick was smothered by Kickett. Dundas dragged to the ground, and it's around the neck. So Dundas will take the free kick from 20 metres out directly in front. Henwood tells the umpire what he thinks about it. And Wayne Henwood, if you had a bit of another look at it, perhaps...
He realised the point, Ian, that he did make the mistake. And when you're in that situation as Wayne Henwood is or was, you really have got to take your frustration out on someone. You know you've done wrong, but you've vented on the umpire.
Dundas directly in front, kicks the goal. That's his fourth.
McEwen's big league bargains are on. We're fighting for lower prices, like Wiltshire's magnificent Lawson 43-piece stainless steel cutlery set at only $49.99. You'll save a big $20. Plus, you'll get a big league bonus Wiltshire 7-piece cake set absolutely free. Buy the famous Wiltshire Stay Sharp double knife set for only $29.99. You'll save $5, plus we'll give you a big league bonus can opener free. But hurry, these big league bonus bargains won't last long. So join the winners at McEwen's today. You'll find high-flying savings with big league bargains store-wide.
The Lions doing it well in the second quarter, 6-8 to 2-7. And Sydney are going to have to do something special. Higgins lost it. The Lions forward again, down towards their left half forward flank area. Ian Roberts leading in the race with Matera, and not really appreciating the nudge into the pickets.
A determined look on his face, Ian Roberts there. I think he and Wally Matera don't see eye to eye in that forward pocket.
Not at the moment. Here's the throw-in. Barling again, just coming over the top and palming it down. It's kicked high by Mark Aythorne, down towards full forward. Kick it.
That was a great mark because Wayne Henwood is like a locomotive in motion when he runs at that ball. He doesn't stop, and you could see there he wasn't going to stop. And they're horrible kicks to be under, those hospital-type passes. And you know you've got to stand your ground, and you know the fellow behind is bearing down. It's a great effort by Kickett just to hold his ground. Oh, head nearly off the shoulders.
Well, he's going to kick from some 30 metres, almost directly in front. Derek Kickett, and he's undone some good work, I fear.
Actually, Sandy, this year he's kicked 6 goals. That's 6 goals, 12 he's kicked, so he has got a problem. like his teammate Alistair Lynch when it comes to kicking for goal.
6-9 plays 2-7, and still Sydney have added only one behind for the quarter. Henwood's getting plenty of work. Ruse underneath, and there is a free kick. It's going to go the way of Fitzroy, so things going with the Lions at the moment. Ruse to take it, but he's well outside 50.
The lights on here at Sydney.
And they've had a fair share of the umpiring decisions, Fitzroy too.
Here's his kick. Good looking kick. In towards the forward line. No one at home, however. And Henwood drifts across that back pocket area and marks safely.
Well, that's where Ruse should have been, I suppose, at full forward. Added a little bit of height.
Henwood's kick. Back towards that half-back flank once again. Tui. Solid mark. In a big pack. Bernard Tui towards Kelly he goes. Over the back. And Johnston comes through strongly, pushing it towards the line. Gale takes it over and almost beats a young enthusiast.
Good effort by Johnston that occasion, because West was coming the other way and he had to be countered, and he was.
Fitzroy getting 14 free kicks to date, and Sydney 8. Lyon a chance, but claimed, and the ball spilling free to go over the line.
Actually, that was a good tackle by Glenn Page, because on a lot of occasions like that, Don, you see the tackler giving the free kick away.
There's the throw in.
Actually, Page has got the job now on Dundas on the ball.
Lyon can run with it if he can get through. He almost can, but just loses his footing. Spills out wide again towards the line. And another throw in.
You know what, that cameraman's in a precarious position, isn't he? The photographer. A couple of times, nearly Ian Roberts and then Mark Aythorne finishing in his lap.
Throw in again, and John Ironmonger says the only way I can get rid of him is to sling him out of the way. It was deemed illegal. Barling. Back towards the centre. Cordy waiting down in front. Wants someone going past. Finds right. Swings wide to Higgins. He'll have a bounce. Shepherding behind play, sees him clear. And his kick is a good one, finding Jim West. Now, they've kicked the behind for the quarter. They want something desperately. In towards full forward, but it's Pert who comes over the top and hammers it wide. Clayton pushes further forward to Ruse. Couldn't pick it up initially. And is claimed. Great tackle. The ball spills free. It comes to Ryan. Ryan floats it in towards the pocket, and Bernard Tui, who gets a shocking bounce. Almost gave away the free kick on row too, but the Lions go on with the job and get it out to Paul Ruse on that outer side. On the defensive side of centre wing, he drifts it up towards Kickett. Went for the spectacular fly, but couldn't take it. Higgins under pressure. The handball away to Ian Roberts. He too is in strife. Now Henwood. Wayne Henwood from the middle. In towards half forward. No mark taken by Wine. Oh, ducking his head was Ironmonger, and gave it straight to Wright. Stevie Wright kicks in towards goal. Can they get back there? Which way will it bounce? It's going to be kept in play, and cool as a cucumber, Gary Pert brings it away. He can run another 20 metres, or he can do the handball over the top. He takes the ladder, combining with Baldwin. Now Gale, back to Pert, and this time he says, I'll pump it. And he pumps it up towards half forward. Kick it again, flying from behind. Can't mark. Ian Roberts in front. Down to Barling. Sweeps a long hand pass in towards West, who got a bad bounce. A good one for Woods. On to Clayton. If he can pick it up, they can score here. Scott Clayton, a little chip. Down towards the forward line, and Ruse overruns it. Support at the back from Lyon. Lyon can handball into the square. Is this number 5 for the youngster? Yes, it is.
Brian Brown is the movie's master of make-believe, but when he's hired to fake a murder, he becomes the victim.
He tried to kill me!
FX, Monday on 7.
Next on Hinch.
Candice Reid was Australia's first test tube baby. Now she's 10, and the doctor who arranged it all was invited to her birthday barbecue.
And this little one and all the others like her are going to grow up to be very normal Australians, and that's the best part about it all.
A special event exclusively next on Hinch.
Fitzroy, with just under 6 minutes left in the second term, lead by 32 points. 51 plays 19. They're striving hard, the Swans, to get the ball out. Ryan, Higgins, Wheeler. Ball at half forward. Tui, Mitchell. Nearly caught by Rowe. The ball comes back. Johnston pushed off it by Tui. Hurried close to the line. Mitchell gets his left foot to the ball, but not before it goes over the boundary line. And we'll have a throw in that left half forward area for the Sydney Swans. There's Phelan. on the boundary line, preparing to come on. He looks as though he may be taking the place of Ian Roberts, or no, Matera's coming off and Broderick coming on. The Swans are certainly going to make a change. The ball goes back towards the wing. Marcus taken by Mackesy. Swans, you get the impression they're only in third gear. They could just go up a notch, kick a couple of goals, there'd be nothing in this game. At Fitzroy, they're defending pretty well, and there's the leader of their defence, Gary Pert, marking at full-back.
Yes, he's having a good day. Looking for Clayton, finding him at half-back. Wants to play on. Sweeps it wide to Dwayne Rowe, who kicks towards centre wing. Ball one at the back. Can't spoil. And a good, strong, safe mark taken by Paul Starbuck. This is Barling under pressure. The advantage paid. Ryan to half forward. They're having trouble getting it past there. Stevens claimed, Wheeler through but lost it. Mitchell trying hard, so to his right. He's tripped, goes to ground, eventually gets the hand pass out to Mitchell. A hurry kick down to half forward. Gale does the shepherding for Wind, and he gets a little left foot chip towards the boundary line. An educated kick. Clayton is there. From half-back, he can sweep it wide, and again Fitzroy out of trouble. This is Aythorne going up towards half-forward. Hammered down in front. No one there for the Lions, but the chance is for Eustace. Mark Eustace, after ball to ground, kicks to half-forward. West out in front, and Jimmy West takes the mark. They want Fell, or they want something up forward. Right, it's too far for him. Pert sees it over the line.
And Filan back on, Starbuck off for Sydney Swans. Starbuck in picture.
Ironmonger, look at that thump, like a hammer. Mitchell pushed in the back. Advantage paid. Right towards full forward once again. Looking for Fell, can't find him. A good mark taken by Stevens. Gets it across to Mark Bunn, and the Lions are out of strife.
Bunn's kick out to a vacant position on centre wing. Coming in is Filan. The short kick doing pretty well was Stevens under pressure. But coming in, Filan collects the football and kicks it towards the 10-metre square. Only one back there is John Ironmonger for Fitzroy. Gets the hand pass to Johnston. Johnston over the top to Rowe. Can he control the football? Yes. And Rowe goes away from half-back, kicks it out towards the wing. No one home for Fitzroy. And Neil Cordy takes the mark. He's just defensive side of centre wing. He transfers playing towards the centre. West, who came on in the second term and has had about 4 kicks already. Eustace, he kicked from a standing position, goes over the top and over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Frustration on Shane Fell's face, his action, everything on that occasion when Eustace got the ball, because he was on a lead. It's handling the ball too much in the centre, and there was a hand pass from West across to Eustace, and Fell was on the lead, expecting West to kick the ball.
Well, is that a lack of confidence?
No, I think it's a style of play. It's a style of play. I've noticed it coming into their game this year, where they used to get the ball and really send it long from the centre square. Sydney.
Left forward pocket, West over the top. Clayton gets the hand pass down. Johnston, quick kick out towards half-back, but chipping in is Barling. Over the top he goes to Mitchell. There really wasn't much in that. Higgins is caught, but he gets the hand pass away. Mitchell back to Higgins. Johnston the chaser. Higgins kick in towards the goal square. No mark taken. Ball at the back. Fitzroy have got the numbers. Gary Pert, he's under pressure though. Chipping in was Tui, using his body, but he's been penalised. And the Lions will get clear through Aythorne. Aythorne's kick goes over the centre, close to centre half forward. A big punch by Henwood goes back towards half forward for the Swans. Ryan, who's had about his 15th kick, and it's an effective one. It's marked by Stevie Wright about 35 to 40 metres from goal.
To date, they've kicked 1 point this quarter.
Well, again, Sandy, an earlier passage where Barling picked the ball up on the opposite side to where Stevie Wright is now. He could have kicked it. He was on his right foot, yet went for a hand pass over his left shoulder.
Stevie Wright. Player on the mark was Rowe. Kick drops in the square. Swans mark. Certain mark to West. Well,
a good mark to West.
With the shortage of players because of injuries, I just can't quite work out why this player started on the interchange bench. But he certainly lifted them up forward in this quarter, taking a few marks, and he's kicked a goal. So West gets his first goal and a badly needed one for the Swans. Fitzroy 7-9, Sydney 3-7.
Well, he has struggled in the past few weeks, in all fairness to Jim West, but he's one of those players that's capable, and he's played every game this year for the Sydney team, and why he is capable is evident by that mark he took on that occasion.
25 plays 51. Ironmonger close to the siren time. Barling, his opposite number, gets it away. It's taken by Kelly and marked by Gale on the siren. So at half-time, Fitzroy in a commanding position. They lead 7-9-51. Sydney 3-7 to get the third quarter underway. Football around Australia today continues in South Australia as well. And Torrens up against West Adelaide. Great start by West Torrens. They lead 6-6-42 to West Adelaide, 1 goal to 8. So Torrens doing it well, but early stages yet. To Don Scott and Ian Robertson. Gentlemen, we'll have your thoughts in a moment, but first let's just pop down to Cameron Williams and see if he managed to get into the rooms. Cameron?
Thanks very much, Sandy. Yes, unfortunately I couldn't get into the Fitzroy rooms, but I can tell you the Swans rooms are very quiet and very despondent and very crowded, with all their injured players in there as well as actual personnel on the field today. Trailing by 26 points, Cole Kinnear says there's not a lot he can really do about that with the limited personnel he has at his disposal, but they're going to maintain that tactic of using hands to move the ball out of defence, try and keep it controlled, try and keep mistakes to a minimum, work the ball up, and hopefully start to win some key positional play. Meanwhile, it just gets colder and more miserable here for the spectators.
Oh, I know what Cameron's complaining about. It's beautiful, Ian, isn't it?
It's the coldest I've ever experienced here in Sydney. Usually the weather, even when it's overcast and raining, it's never this cold. It really is. With, interesting there, Don Shane fell, and young Luff going to start this second half on the interchange bench.
I'd look also maybe at Henwood at centre half forward, and maybe trying, I don't think, Mackenzie might have a problem with his speed, but I'd try Henwood. They need something. They've got to change them around a bit. I don't really blame Fell because the ball's not being delivered in the right way.
Well, here we go. Second half, and going into it, Fitzroy lead by 26 points. It's a very handy lead on a gloomy day. The lights are on here at the SCG, and Barry Mitchell is getting fairly dirty at the bottom of the pack. With him is Jimmy Wine, and I'll just use your jumper to wipe my hands. Still in the centre, Ironmonger and Barling. They've been at it all day. Baldwin and Clayton combined to get it out. It goes up towards the half-forward line. Lynch lost sight of it. The hurried kick wide was by Glenn Page, only as far as the wing. And there'll be a free kick going the way of Fitzroy here, to be taken by Mark Aythorne. Aythorne now putting the Lions inside 50. Kick it! What a mark!
Well, he had 2 goes in the second quarter, and I would have disciplined him for doing that. He's only a small fellow, but there you go. I suppose if you keep having a go at it, Don, one's got to come off.
Magic mark.
Dale kick it inside 50. Can he cap it off with a goal? I think he can. Great play. So Dale Kickett gets his first, and the Lions continue on their merry way. They are 8-9, leading Sydney 3-7.
Well, watch this on replay there. Magic mark, a real spring heel jack, along with his teammates, Alistair Lynch. He also suffers from accuracy in front of goal this year. Kickett's kicked 6 goals, 11.
So Fitzroy forced the ball towards their centre half forward position. Baldwin behind. Clayton, left foot kick towards the full forward position.
Lynch.
Running onto it, Lynch. Can he get his foot to the ball? He gathers it in the pocket. The hand pass goes back. Broderick, good smother by Roberts. Broderick again. Broderick's left foot snapshot. It's marked right on the line by Henwood. Henwood casually just kicks the ball out towards Starbuck. Starbuck runs outside 50 metres and kicks it towards the centre wing. No mark taken. Getting back is Bunn. Bunn for Fitzroy. The hand pass goes through to Aythorne. Aythorne pulled down by Wright. Gets the hand pass away. And Ironmonger moving at 0 miles an hour. Gets the left foot kick to the ball. Right. There's Ironmonger again. Right kick towards half forward. The mark is taken by Pert. Gary Pert standing rock solid in defence for Fitzroy. The kick in towards the centre. High flyer from behind. No mark taken by Lyon. He goes back after it again. A scramble for possession. Matthew Ryan. Now Gale at the back of the pack. A rugby scrum. Out goes wide. Ironmonger stuck in the mud. Higgins gets the hand pass away. Wheeler shrugs the tackle from Baldwin. Wheeler kicks the Swans in towards 50-metre line, but the mark is taken by Pert.
Gary Pert going back to the outer wing for Fitzroy again. Ironmonger is his target. The big man dives.
No play on.
He tried to con the umpire.
Lost his jumper too.
It didn't work. Well, he's lost the bulk of it, yes. He's done all the heavy work today for Fitzroy. Wine gets the hand pass away. Stevens follows it down, and Fitzroy out of trouble up towards their half-forward line, but Page is there.
It should be 50
and he
metres.
might get 50 metres here. Copped the nasty one. Would have taken the wind out of his sails in no uncertain fashion.
Let's hope he's all right.
Well,
and I think someone else might have to take the kick, Sandy. No, he seems to be all right.
Well done, well done. It did look as though he may have hurt something there.
You always recover quickly, Ian, when you get a free kick, don't you?
Well, the 50 metres has also brought him down to the 50-metre line. And Sydney desperately wanting something. The kick drops short, and intercepting is Scott Clayton.
Well cut out by Clayton on that occasion, because Tui was on a lead, and good positioning by the Fitzroy ruck rover.
Clayton back towards centre wing. Now down towards West. It came from Page, and Jimmy West, who started the day on the interchange bench, has certainly been pretty busy since coming onto the ground.
Well followed up, a little bit of luck. Nearly bounced off the chest.
West looking for a much-needed goal for Sydney. The drop punt is on its way. It looks pretty good, and he's kicked it. That's his.
McEwen's Big League bargains are on. High prices have come a cropper. Save $50 on Sidchrome's 35-piece tool set, only $165. Save a big $60 on a Sidchrome 50-piece AF and metric socket set, a crazy $169. Save $70 on Sidchrome's 40-piece AF and metric socket set, a mad $175. Australian-made Sidchrome, unconditionally guaranteed at never-to-be-repeated prices. You can hand a man a grander spanner for Father's Day. So get into the winning team with high-flying savings on McEwen's Big League bargains store-wide.
So Sydney with their fourth goal get to within 26 points of Fitzroy. Kick it again across half forward. Tries to flip it out to a teammate. There's no one there. Ryan gives it to Mitchell. Mitchell's dispossessed. Wind gives it to Lynch. Lynch goes towards goal. Fitzroy mark taken by Roos. And he's well within scoring distance, Paul Roos. To date, he has kicked 2 behinds. Kick falling a little short. Henwood perhaps going a little bit too much there for Roos instead of the football. Roos from 25 metres out. He pulls the kick and the breeze takes it further. And it's through for his 3rd behind. So Paul Roos, not much on the scoreboard with 3 inaccurate kicks. Now Lloyd for the Swans. Kicks to the half-back position. Ball at the back. Baldwin's left foot kick towards centre half forward. Kick it. Flicked away by Filand. Underneath it, Johnston. Woods couldn't quite control it. Mackesy wide, Barling. Scrambling kick. Ryan leaves it for Starbuck. Wish they'd leave that guy on the ground. He hasn't done too bad. Ryan's left foot snap. Misses to the left, and Matthew Ryan has kicked 1 goal 3.
That was a better effort by Sydney. Just get the ball and keep moving it forward. They socketed it off the ground. They pushed it forward.
Pert. Short but effective. Aythorne. Looking for Stevens. Finds him. And he plays on. Shrugs the tackle. Sneaks away from Ryan. Kicks up over the centre. And a good mark is taken by Broderick. Broderick's outside 50, but he puts in the pass towards Roos. It drops a little short. Henwood defends, getting it away to Ian Roberts. Jimmy Wine takes it, and Wine kicks in towards full forward, swinging back at goal.
Imagine this man's finger is your car's fuel injector. It sprays petrol into your cylinder and with your piston creates this explosion. But fuel injectors can clog, robbing your car's performance. That's why you need BP Unleaded Petrol's new detergent additives to clean fuel injectors and carburetors and restore performance. BP, on the move.
Back in the centre, 18 minutes left in the third term. A free kick being picked out of it. It's going to the Fitzroy rover, Johnston. Johnston's tightened up on Matthew Ryan. The kick falls in short. Cordy nearly takes the mark. The ball now comes wide. It's Wine again. Jimmy Wine forced to kick with the left foot. The snapshot offline and through for a behind. So, fair bit of action at the start of the third term. Fitzroy have kicked 2 goals. The Swans have kicked 1. And Jimmy Wine taking a little while to pick himself up off the turf. And he's still looking a little distressed there. They have suffered an injury down around the lower stomach area. Henwood kicks it in. He'll be caught by Dundas. Well, I'm blowed if I know. And then the kick falls with line.
Well, I suppose
you convince me that that's good football. I don't know anything about footy.
Righto, you mightn't, but the point is you've got to compliment the Fitzroy guys by putting Sydney under so much pressure.
Why doesn't he thump at 60 metres out past the 50-metre line? Kick by Lyon, goes in towards goal, and he's touched on the line. Ross Lyon has kicked 3 behinds.
Now we watch what he does here, because all the guys are marked up the ground. Sydney run into space, but there's nobody at the 60-metre mark except Fitzroy.
Cordy was the meat in the sandwich. Here's Ian Roberts at half-back. Can't get clear, but gets the handball away to Barry Mitchell. What can Sydney do? They look up towards Bernard Toohey, who, in fact, has been a game-saver a couple of times after moving down into the forward line, but will not get a sniff of it at the moment. Although Eustace takes it from Wine, pulls it back in towards half-forward, and the mark is going to be awarded to Sydney. And this could be a chance to score, because Darren Mackesy will kick from the 50-metre line almost directly in front after grabbing that mark. Only his 4th kick for the day. But if ever they needed a goal, it's now. From 50. Drop punt. Good-looking kick and slams into the post. John Ironmonger there. 4-9. Plays 9-12. Pert again. Kicks back into play. And a good mark taken by Andrew Johnston. Johnston in the back pocket. Farouz, but it drops short, and Barling is there to take it. Sweeps the long hand pass to accommodate Eustace. He's under a bit of pressure, loses it and gets it back to give it to Wheeler. He too is forced into a hurried kick, but finds Bernard Toohey.
Now this man can kick this ball from here, because I've seen him kick a number of goals this year from exactly this position. He did it against Geelong in the last quarter.
Only his 3rd kick of the day from 45 metres. Is it going to make it? Ironmonger goes up, but he goes over the top, and there's a much-needed one again for Sydney.
Who can you bank on when your paydays are through? 'Cause your salary stops, but the bills never do. Who can you bank on when the kids are all gone? Who'll help you enjoy the time of your own? Who can you bank on? Who can you bank on? Who can you trust? You can bank on Westpac. You can bank on us.
Fitzroy 9-12, Sydney 5-9. Ironmonger telling Barling what he thinks of it, telling Stevie Wright what he thinks of it. Not very difficult to distinguish who he is, even though he's got a different jumper on, number 58. And in a couple of seconds there, undisciplined play. The free kick taken by the Swans finishes with Mackesy on the 50-metre line. Mackesy kicks it into the square. It'll go through. It's a goal. Terrific kick by Darren Mackesy. And it's amazing, Don, how quickly a game can turn when the scores aren't all that high.
Well, I'd be interested, Ian, too, to wonder what Stevie Wright said to Giant Ironmonger, because they were former teammates, and probably there were no punches pulled on that occasion. And through frustration, he's given away a free kick and a goal, Giant Ironmonger, but it's a small ground, and Sydney can come right back into it.
Ball up back in the centre, and the Swans are showing some fight. Kelly, Eustace, gets the kick across his left shoulder. Swans mark again. It's Mackesy. He went after that as though he wanted. Mitchell brought to ground by Clayton. Stevens gets the hand pass out, but not before the umpire calls for a bounce. Brett Stevens, centre half back for Fitzroy. The ball between centre and centre half forward for the Swans. They've kicked a couple of quick ones to bring them back into the game. Ironmonger could receive a free kick, and he does so.
He certainly head up. He really did go at that centre bounce after the goal was scored through his indiscretion. And you can see there an aggro giant on Ironmonger.
Ironmonger's kick wide towards centre wing. A free kick being picked out of it. It's going to Fitzroy, and it'll be taken there by their captain, Paul Roos. Roos drop punt kick in towards the full forward area. Coming out was Lynch. He couldn't control it. Now Fitzroy through Baldwin. Left foot kick by that player into the pocket. Underneath it, nearly a mark to Dundas. And the central umpire calls to the boundary umpire to throw it in. Dundas and Page, Lynch in front, takes the ball out of the air. Eustace round onto the right foot goes Mark Eustace. Played a fantastic game for New South Wales in the state of origin. Now Fitzroy go into attack, and Clayton takes the mark at centre half forward.
Matthew Wheeler very lucky on that occasion, on the verge of giving away 50 metres.
Big test for Scott Clayton, a little too far out, I feel. Slightly restricted in his kicking style. 14 possessions, not a bad effort. He's 45 metres from goal. The drop punt drops in short. Opportunity for the Swans to rush behind. It was Lloyd, and a behind on the scoreboard. 9:13 plays 6-9 as Trewella warms up on the boundary line for Fitzroy. The kick in goes in towards half-back. Cordy can't mark. Picked up by Wheeler. Taken away by Roberts. Cleaned up by Henwood, and Henwood goes bang. But it breaks down because Gary Pert got back there quickly, and he takes the mark.
Pert swings it out wide. His target was Anthony Woods, but he's beaten over the line. Rain again threatening here at the SCG, and it is very, very dark. The lights have been on for some time, and a gusty breeze blowing around the ground. No mark taken by Lyon, and pressure from Matthew Lloyd. So another throw in at centre wing. Fitzroy lead 9-13 to 6-9. But this injury-riddled Sydney side trying desperately to get back into it. Lyon and Mitchell. Mitchell gives it to Ryan. Oh, good smother. That was by Ironmonger. Gee, he worked hard. Lloyd gets a kick up towards the left half forward flank. Wright keeps it in play. Here's a something for Mitchell. Well stolen, however, by Rowe. Kicks back towards centre wing. Filand on the half volley. Gets the handball out looking for Lloyd. He's taken out of it by Lyon. So too was Wheeler. Roos throws it out to Clayton. Now Fitzroy are running. Kick it from 50 metres. He does. Is it straight? Yes, it is. And there's another one to the Lions. His second.
Thursday night, you'll be in stitches.
Where have you been? I don't remember.
Hester's out to con the local councillor, and everybody gets in on the act.
Good night, everyone. Nighty-nighty.
Then it's a lower and hair flicks in for some physiotherapy.
Can I help in any other way?
Yes, pull it in time to the music.
And everybody's on the run from the Gestapo.
I too will put myself up with you. We would have to sleep on top of each other.
We must not be selfishy.
Fresh Fields in the low. 7:30 Thursday on 7.
73 plays 45 in Fitzroy's favour. out of the mud patch. Bunn was trying to get clear. It's kicked up towards half forward. Dundas waits at the back, gets a hurried kick down towards Broderick and Ian Roberts, and Roberts in front. Takes a safe mark. The Sydney defence been put under all sorts of pressure today. Eustace gets a kick as he's slung over the boundary line, and slung too high, said the umpire. So Mark Eustace comes up scratching his head, but does get a free kick. At halfback. Drifts play up towards the wing. At the back is Michael Gale. With him is Paul Starbuck.
Actually, looking at Eustace's statistics, he's had 24 possessions, but most of them have been under enormous pressure, haven't they? Quick kicks around the corner and what have you.
Ironmonger from behind wins the ruck duel on that occasion, and winning the juggling act was Lyon. Wants to go on with it quickly. The hand pass across to Clayton. Down towards half forward. Roos is the target. Taken off hands by Wheeler. Goes over the centre for Sydney. If they can get another couple of quick goals, they're right in this, Sydney. Mitchell. He's got Tui up forward. Gives him a lead, but elects to ignore him and go for Leon Higgins, who played on and lost it.
Now, that was a bad move by Tui on that occasion. Right. No, it was Mitchell who had the ball, was still running back on the mark. Tui was on the lead, and it was an unintelligent lead because he should make his move when Wright's just about to, Mitchell's just about to kick the ball.
Actually, I thought Higgins was a bit stiff to be called play on. I mean, 99 times out of 100, the umpire will call that back and allow the player to take his kick. Boundary throw in, Ironmonger, strong. Johnston, a quick kick out towards centre half. Wheeler, now that's what that guy's capable of. Terrific stuff by the youngster.
We've seen 3 real speckies taken today. Ross Lyon, Kickett, and now Wheeler.
But this guy's background, Don, I think that we all have to acknowledge that his background is not really Australian rules. And that's why I think there's a lot of potential here. If they can just harness it, he's an exciting prospect. Wheeler, lovely long kick. He hooks it into the pocket, and it's touched in the contest before going over for a boundary throw-in in the left forward pocket. Very determined young man. Boundary throw-in, there's that mark again. Here's a chance for the Swans. They've got a goal, have they? No, it's marked right on the line by Pert. And he casually takes the ball away for Fitzroy, out towards half-back. Helped out. The ball comes wide. Aythorne under pressure. Now Wright chipping in, centre half forward. Stevie Wright goes for goal and he misses.
You can see that as soon as it left his boot, he had the body sway up trying to will that ball through the goal. So it was touch and go.
27 points the margin. Favouring Fitzroy. Gary Pert just waiting for this ball to be delivered back.
Now, Sydney really not... Oh, yes, they are. They're starting to ring the Fitzroy guys who are congregating at centre-half back, and Sydney are pulling another change. Starbuck going off and Luff coming back on. Broderick's off for Fitzroy and Matera's come back on. And Luff going onto that half-forward line. But Sydney ring their opponents differently to what Fitzroy do.
Pert, members side. Woods is the target. He finds him, and with ease, Stevens runs it up towards half forward. Tap down for Paul Roos. Now he has a look up at full forward. Lynch was the flyer in front. Couldn't take the mark. At the back was Matera. He gets claimed, goes to ground, and we'll see a bounce some 35 metres out from the Fitzroy scoring zone.
Always has. Yeah.
Barling.
If they're consistent one way or the other, we'd be all right.
Filan gets it away to Eustace. Nowhere to go, so he just tried to pop it towards the boundary line, but Kickett was there. And claim from behind. He loses it. Now a chance for Barry Mitchell to get it out to right. He too has little up forward and heads towards the boundary line. And seeing it over is Luff and Gale.
I suppose you could say they're 2 intelligent kicks, one by Eustace, one by Wright, because they really didn't have a target up forward.
Ironmonger
after having his Guernsey ripped off. Now carrying a fair weight on his shoulders, that being number 58. But Fitzroy up towards their half-forward line once again. Or Dundas was waiting down in front. If he can get clear, he can't, so he tries to shovel it out. Matera caught, loses it. A chance for Lloyd to clear for Sydney, and he does. Threads his way through, kicks over the centre, up towards the half-forward line, and Stevens a good mark. Brett Stevens plays on quickly to Jimmy Wine. Wider to Clayton. Clayton decides to centre the ball. It's not a good kick, however, and the mark is taken by Glenn Page. Plays on quickly to Cordy. Luff in the middle. Takes the mark on the chest. The youngster plays straight on with a hand pass across to Ian Roberts. Sydney wanting a goal. Kick is not a good one. Pert cleans up at the back. Loves to have a run, runs wide, then hooks it with his left foot. And Higgins.
Yes, I'd pay that.
I think he's paying him for being held and calling play on now. That's the way it goes. In towards half forward, and another good mark going to be taken by Stevens. Brett Stevens.
I'd make that move of Henwood to centre half forward.
The
Just
free kick
try
there.
it.
Free kick to Gale.
Takes it by going short. This is Mark Bunn. Coming up for his 6th kick. Bunn to half forward. Line is the target. Not trying to mark. His intention was to tap it over the back. He's got plenty of support though. Woods, who kicked a goal in the first quarter. Down to the forward line. Matera loses it. Page comes out with a hand pass to Barling. Barling's kick is not a good one, but it may end up favouring Eustace. He's through centre wing, can go over the top. Does so now to Jimmy West. West from 45 metres, but the ball not coming back at all, and one behind only.
Good play by Eustace there to try and draw the Fitzroy player towards him to give the opportunity for West to go further towards goal for the hand pass over the top. He really had nothing to do until that move was created by himself. Aythorne. Kick outside 50 metres by Aythorne. Pert up high. Wine collects the crumbs. High kick by Wine towards centre wing. Dundas running back. Holding his ground nicely was Page. Oh, he goes to ground. Still has the football underneath him. Could have been penalised perhaps, but the umpire, giving him the benefit of the doubt, calls for a bounce.
He's done well, young Page, since he's come on, because Dundas, although he's an opportunist in the second quarter, hasn't been as prominent.
Barling out to Eustace. Eustace, the kick towards the vacant half-forward position. Pert, experienced. Stevens, high kick towards the wing. No mark taken. Page again. His kick is smothered. Barling, Higgins, kick at the tackler. Higgins still able to elude it. Oh, why did he give the hand pass? The man was cornered. Filan, Eustace, Bunn. Now Fitzroy into attack. It's Roos at half forward. Roos goes short into the pocket. Chopped off by Roberts. Lloyd gets back. Matera a little late. We'll have a boundary throw in the right forward pocket for Fitzroy. It's about 25 metres around from their goal, so they're a chance to score once again. The people rugged up here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Very, very cool conditions. Barling, Lynch, over the top was Johnston, free kick. It'll go to the Swans ruckman, Tim Barling.
Plays on quickly. Sydney want a couple of quick goals if they're to make a go of this in the final quarter. Wayne Henwood on the outer side looking for Stevie Wright, just taps over the back for West. Now West pumps it long down towards the half-forward line. Rowe leading in the chase and takes the mark for the Lions.
Good effort by Rowe. He backed himself then, ran at the ball until he was in pursuit. Should be the other way around.
Dwayne Rowe to the half-back flank over the head of Wright. And there he is with John Ironmonger again. Jim West gives Wright a tap on the tummy and says, come on, we can still get up. Barling at the back. Ironmonger was searching. Wind at the bottom of the pack. Slipping through is Leon Higgins, forced onto the right boot, and again Rowe defends stoutly. Taking the mark, he kicks wide to the wing. The bounce, not good for Dundas. Could be good for Wheeler. He is a determined young player, caught one high and will take the kick.
And he wastes no time. Quickly on to Mitchell. They've got Ryan loose. He's outside 50 at the moment. Approaches the 50-metre line and kicks short to find West.
Well, he went this way, that way on that occasion, Ryan, but finally went for the short option. And probably realising he might have been out a little bit too far from goal.
Jim West looking for goal number 3. This to close the margin down to 20 points. Good-looking kick. There is his 3rd goal.
Joanna is caught in a love triangle. She's also living a nightmare. A coincidence, or has the fight for her love gone too far from the dead of night? Soon. The fire's out, and now the real tragedy begins.
Where is he?
I don't know. A volunteer firefighter gone missing. I don't fancy his chances much. And it's his mates who make the gruesome discovery.
How has anyone identified that, Frank?
But there's another problem.
Now we've got 2 missing.
Whose husband has been found?
Do either of you recognise this?
A country practice Monday.
7-11, 10-13. Fitzroy lead by 20 points. Swans need to kick another couple. Ironmonger. Ball taken by Aythorne. Kick towards half forward. Kick it. Outnumbered, but he plies the tackle on Cordy. Barling goes in there. The big fellow struggling hard at ground level. Good play. He's done well in the ruck contest with Ironmonger, Tim Barling.
I wonder if Cordy could have been well, a free kick could have gone against Cordy on that occasion because he was in control of the ball and he dropped it.
Dundas on the bottom of the pack. Umpire calls for another bounce. Stevie Wright. That won't do your Brownlow medal votes any harm at all. Stevie handing the ball back to the umpire like that. Dundas tries to crash his way through. Now Wright gets the ball out for the Swans. It kicks it out to the vacant wing position. Mackesy and Stevens. Stevens a little strong with a tackle, but umpire allows it to go, and he calls eventually for a bounce. That's umpire Peter Marshall and umpire Gavin Dorr officiating this afternoon. Ironmonger crashed to the ground in the ruck contest, and he'll take the free kick just on the defensive side of centre wing. Swans fans not too happy with that umpiring decision, but it looked okay to me. The handball goes to Perth. He backs himself, gets past Ryan, and kicks it within 50 metres. No one there for the Fitzroy side. Cordy punches at the ground. Now it's gathered by Matera. A slick handball to Wine. Lynch is in the pocket. The ball very hard to handle, but he grabs it. And as the Lions are in attack, the siren sounds to end the 3rd quarter.
For those viewers in Melbourne, Adelaide and Perth, follows this one as Curly Austin leaves the ground. Let's have a look at a score in the clash between West Torrens and West Adelaide in the South Australian National Football League. Torrens restricted to 6 behinds in that quarter, but they still lead 6-12, 48 to the Bloods 4-3, 27. Let's quickly go down to the boundary line. Here's Cameron Williams.
Thanks, Andy. A growing sense of hope in the Swans camp. Coach Colquhoun never gives much away by the way of tactics, but he says they're just going to keep moving the ball up steadily. Over in the Fitzroy camp, though, expect to see John Ironmonger move back into defence. There's a little bit of concern there, and it should be an interesting last quarter.
Yes, thank you, Cameron. It should be. 20 points is the margin. Don, do you think the home side can get up?
Well, they can get up, and they've made a change. Mackesy to full forward and Tui to centre half forward.
Here's the ball up for this final quarter. Fitzroy leading by 20 points. First kick is wide towards Luff. Traps it well. Good work by the youngster. If Sydney can get the first goal, it will really set the cat amongst the pigeons. Mackesy is well spoilt. Clayton defending stoutly. Goes wide to the outer side, and Anthony Woods. Woods has a look up forward. Good looking kick. The mark spilled. And maybe a let-off for Sydney. Cordy's kick wide towards Lloyd. Couldn't take it initially. Now has to chase Baldwin. Pushes it out the back. An opportunity for Stevens. Brett Stevens' kick up towards full forward. Bounces over the back. Lynch a chance. Alistair Lynch steadies. He shoots and he goals.
Well, he has had a quiet break or day. Alistair Lynch has been playing at the full forward and centre half forwards positions. And he really did swoop on that. Maybe a lucky bounce. We'll watch this quickly in replay. It's Henwood underneath. It was just a little bit too far, and it was the fact that Lynch had his body behind the ball that he could press it on forward and goal.
Well, that isn't what Sydney wanted, but it is just what the Lions ordered. Back in the middle once again. Ironmonger, Barling. Mitchell claimed by Jimmy Wind. And look at John Ironmonger.
He is a big man, Sandy. There's not too many ruckmen that lift weights like this fellow does. You can see there a well-defined, sculptured body.
He wins the tap, but do they win it out of the middle? Out of the mud pile? No one going anywhere fast. Still virtually in the middle. But a big pack of players around the ball. Ironmonger trying to get it right away. Dundas couldn't take it. Neither could Wind initially. Claimed was Woods. Ironmonger, look at him doing the heavy work in there. Claims the tackle. Tui's caught. Wind grappling with him. And still in the middle. So a bit of a stalemate. Barling up over the top. That will clear proceedings out.
I thought also Ironmonger put his body in such a position that maybe he was taking the run of Barling on that occasion.
Look at him sprint away. And a good-looking kick long and low down towards the half-forward line, but onto the chest of Wayne Henwood.
Played well the last couple of weeks, Henwood.
From half-back. Kicks back towards the centre wing area again. Stevens in from the side, trying to affect the spoil. A hurried kick goes down towards Dundas. He couldn't take it. Filan gets the handball away. Sydney want the next goal, and they want it badly. Higgins puts them inside 50 and in with a chance. Mackesy couldn't take it cleanly. Tui runs into Gary Pert. Out it comes to Stevie Wright. Looked for Lloyd. Not a good hand pass. Fitzroy out of trouble. Pert, cool as a cucumber. Goes onto the left foot. Centres it. Barling's got to make pace. Eventually out to Cordy. Barling a little chip. Wide to the wing, and he finds Leon Higgins. Higgins looking up to a congested half-forward line. Ironmonger will come in from the back. Pushes down in front. Matt Ryan had a blistering first quarter, but has been a little quieter since. And we will see a ball up. Just forward of centre for Sydney, who trail 79-53.
Umpires got a fairly good area there, so the bounce is affected. Ironmonger attempted kick off the ground. Higgins and Wright. Now Wright out wider to West. West, who has kicked 3 goals. Kick up towards full forward. Luff backs himself, then kicks with the left foot. Which way will it bounce? Around and around, and held out on the goal line by Gale. Gale's little short pass is effective, and the mark is taken by Rowe. He plays on. The long kick out to the advantage of Woods. Woods with a little bit more pace than Wheeler. Can't control the football. It comes back to Wheeler. Woods still in with a chance, and he gets the hand pass away. Now Fitzroy go forward through Johnston, and Johnston's pass is a good one. It hits Roos on the chest, 45 metres from goal on a 45-degree angle. They've got 3-on-2 on the full forward line. Fitzroy's advantage. Now Stevie Wright gets back there to pick up Kickett, and Roos will be forced to shoot for goal. Long kick by Roos, right on the goal line. No, it hasn't been touched. It's a goal.
Well, Dipper, what would you recommend?
Quattro venti.
Quattro what?
Tender piping hot meat, bathed in a delicately spiced, exquisite gravy, then encased in a golden pastry envelope.
It's truth.
4 4 and 20s, maestro. Going right up. Quattro e venti.
4 and 20. Ripper, Dipper. Oi, can we see the beer list?
No worries.
4 and 20. The great Australian taste.
So Fitzroy comfortably by 32 points. Ironmonger gets the ball down. Free kick to the big Fitzroy ruckman, and he'll kick the Lions into attack.
Barling took his eye off the ball on that occasion.
Ironmonger's kick down towards half forward. Roos again the target. An opportunity for Bunn. Down towards full forward he goes. At the back is Roos. Is this another one? Pulls it round his body and has kicked it, I think. He has. So 2 quick goals to Paul Roos, and the Lions running away. They're 13-13, 91. Sydney a 7-11-53.
Well, the two Sydney guys who went for that ball, here it is, Cordy and also Henwood, just unsighted for just that fraction as Lynch was mixed up in that huddle. And Ruse, who really, as I said earlier, hasn't had a good day, has figured it in the last 60 seconds with 2 goals.
From the middle, Ryan tumbles a punt down towards half forward, almost the mark to Mitchell in front of Jim Wine. Tui gets legged, goes to ground, wants to try and get it out to someone going past, but Wine is there to soccer off the ground, back towards centre half back, and in fact pushed wider now towards the wing. Lloyd working hard for Sydney, virtually doing it on his own. Gets his kick around his body and onto the chest of Eustace. Mark Eustace still outside 50. Up towards half forward again. Mackesy in front. Was he pushed?
Yes.
Good body work there, wasn't it, Don?
Was,
to put himself in front.
It's really, you can't blame Gary Pert either, because it was just good positioning. And there's Mackesy, who really held position. And Pert endeavouring to get into the right position, which was maybe a couple of feet in front, but his path was blocked. And he really didn't have enough time to get around Mackesy to get front position.
Darren Mackesy kicked a goal in the 3rd quarter. And that Dilly loved this one. Kick looks pretty good. His second. And Sydney, much to the delight of those supporters, moved to 8-11, trailing Fitzroy 13-13.
Well, he kept his head well over the ball on that occasion when he actually did kick it, Mackesy. There's just good positioning, good body position. There's really nobody can do in that situation when a player was in the position that Mackesy was on that occasion. And Sydney have made a change with Barling going off. Now, who's going to the ruck? Henwood and Feld coming to full forward.
Ball up back in the centre. On the bottom of the pack there is Matt Ryan.
And interesting.
And umpire calls for another ball up.
Sorry, interestingly, Jim West has gone down to full back. Fell up to the forward line, and Henwood on the ball.
Swans clear through Higgins. Baldwin for Fitzroy. Clear onto the left foot. Nice kick too by that player up towards full forward. No mark taken. Comes out towards Clayton. Pushing it in front of himself was West. And Swans player Ian Roberts nearly went down the lens of the camera there. And a bit of excitement here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Fans on their toes as Henwood thumps the ball over the boundary line for another throw-in.
It's gone into the bar of the members.
And not too many people down there willing to retrieve the football. Someone coming from under the shelter of the grandstand. And still can't retrieve that footy. Now the boundary umpire can. So we'll have a boundary throw-in just outside 50 metres. Lynch there for Fitzroy. Kick it in the background with Filan. Henwood gets in front. Does it pretty well, Wayne Henwood. He hasn't given up. And perhaps typifying the spirit of the Swans. Very much undermanned with 18 or 20 players out through injury and suspension. Their numbers way down. Stevie Wright can't control the footy. Goes back after it again. And eventually gets hold of the footy, but the umpire calls for a bounce. Just inside the 50-metre line. And the Swans striving hard.
There's the bounce. Henwood doing the ruck work on that occasion. Kick it. In and out and in again. Gives away the free kick, however. Page gets it away to Eustace. Pushes it wide. Wheeler and West. Good mark taken by Jim West. Wants to go on with it. Does now. Eustace follows play down. Runs in to kick it, but does manage to get it away to Wheeler. Oh, he's well claimed, and the ball is stolen. That is great play by Fitzroy. Down towards the forward line. The bounce may favour Lynch. He's still going, Alistair Lynch. Going to be tucked right on the boundary line. And his kick is smothered and eventually taken over the line. Great play by Anthony Woods to steal that ball and run down through the centre. But now we're on the outer side. Henwood and Lynch. Ryan couldn't take it at the first attempt. The pack very quick to develop. So another bounce. Fitzroy in command. They lead 91 to 59, so the margin 32 points. Not allowed to do that, holding on there with Matera and Ian Roberts. Henwood doing the work from behind, wins it. It's in Wood's territory again. He's a little terrier, this player. Kicked a goal in the first term, Anthony Woods. Good looking kick in towards full forward. And a good mark taken on that last line of defence. Henwood right in the back pocket. Just drifts it round to Ian Roberts. He might have a bounce towards the 50-metre line. Has to get the hand pass away. Will they get away with it? Over the top again, looking for Ian Roberts. Body over the ball. He then spoons it out towards Luff, who's given away a free kick for a push in the back. To be taken by Andrew Johnston. Johnston into half forward. Waiting down in front is Ironmonger, doing the roving work. Gets it to Matera. Stolen, however. Mitchell gets a hurried kick over the centre. Dwayne Rowe is there, pulls it back again. From one edge of the square to the other it's going at the moment. Matera, if he's quick enough. In opposition is right. Matera still going. Gets the handball away. And here's another one to Paul Roos.
McEwen's Big League bargains are on. High prices have come a cropper. Save $50 on Sidchrome's 35-piece steel set, only $165. Save a big $60 on a Sidchrome 50-piece AF and metric socket set, a crazy $169. Save $70 on Sidchrome's 40-piece AF and metric socket set, a mad $175. Australian-made Sidchrome, unconditionally guaranteed at never-to-be-repeated prices. You can hand a man a grander spanner for Father's Day. So get into the winning team with high-flying savings on McEwen's Big League bargains store-wide.
Fitzroy 14-13, Sydney 8-11. We've got 14.5 minutes left in the game. Baldwin can't get out. And has he been penalised? He has, for holding the ball, the free kick to go to Stevie Wright, and Baldwin not too happy.
Actually, Ironmonger should have been awarded that free kick in the centre there, because Henwood took his eye off the ball and just went straight at Ironmonger.
So Stevie Wright, who usually gives his all for his side, and impressive stats. The kick towards centre-half forward, no mark taken. The ball at the back, Ryan ready to swoop. He's held just a little bit by Johnston, just a little bit more by Johnston, and he's still in there underneath it. And Johnson looking for the free kick. And Jimmy Wind, bit of a smirk on his face, but the umpire will call for a bounce. The play about 40 metres out from the Swans' goal. So they're a chance to score. Tap goes to the back. Ryan. Can he control it? He's done pretty well this afternoon, Matt Ryan. Left foot kick by that player up to the goal line, and it's marked back there by Scott Clayton. He gets the hand pass away to Stevens. Stevens at half back, kicks it long to a vacant wing position. Swans have got two to help out there. Coming through is Lloyd. Lloyd onto the left foot. Nice kick too. His unnatural kicking foot up towards full forward. Stevens is there to repel. Ryan, has he marked the ball? No, didn't go far enough. Into Tui. Tui in trouble. Gets the hand pass out to Mitchell. Mitchell forced to kick quickly. Can't control it. It goes over on the full. Free kick to be taken by Pert.
Mitchell has been picked up today by Jimmy Wind, and it's been a good effort by Wind, because Mitchell is a prolific kick-getter.
Gary Pert's kick to half-back. Lloyd got it out and injured himself in the process to Wright, who tries to centre. Used to scouting. May get clear. No, he gets claimed, and well claimed. Woods now to clear for Fitzroy. Gets away from Matthew Ryan, and he kicks it out wide. A vacant wing area. Chasing is Wheeler. First to it. Shrugs the tackle once, twice, and gets a free kick and wants to go on with it. Does. In towards half forward. Rowe from the back. Effects the spoil. Henwood gets the hand pass away to Wright. Wright shoots in towards goal and kicks it. Stevie Wright kicks his first, and that is Sydney's 9-11, plays 14-13, and that is a piece of a Swan resurgence. Who knows, Donald?
Well, Matthew Wheeler on that outer wing there showed a lot of pace. I wish he'd show that pace when he's actually chasing somebody who was in front there, had a sniff, showed his strength, break away, but it was a good reflexive handball by Henwood to get it across to Wright.
65 plays 97. Alistair Lynch holding
up play as far as Filan was concerned, but now they're down to half forward once again. Rowe. Good tackle on Eustace. A little bit of pressure on the Fitzroy defence in the last couple of minutes. It's wide to the wing now. Lloyd having to chase. This is Baldwin. Kicks back into the centre. A chance for Matera. Over the top to kick it at the 50-metre line. He's got Lynch if he needs him. He does need him. Lynch elects to go wider still. Back to kick it. Kick it into the square. Here's another one for Ruse. Well, that...
Fast forward, the undisputed masters of send-up.
Shane, the lot of you, Shane.
No commercial is safe.
Come on, Australia.
No program is sacred.
You and your ninja bloody turtle.
They've already ripped off the Golden Girls, A Country Practice, The Cosby Show, Beverly Hillbillies and Happy Days, just to name a few. And now the video clips are in for a bagging. Who's going to cop it next? Find out on Fast Forward, Thursday night, 8:30 on 7.
Bounce back in the centre. Swans get clear through Higgins. Higgins left foot kick into the right forward pocket. Too far there for Luff. And it goes over for a boundary throw in right on the 50-metre line. Gary Pert running back quickly. Little pat on the backside coming from Michael Gale. Strong defence. He's been solid all day, Gary Pert, up at fullback. Now Mitchell can't get the kick away. Stevie Wright again. Goes back. Higgins, left foot kick to the front of the goals. High flyers wanted. No mark taken. Mackesy, sweeping hand pass. Eustace goes back towards centre half forward. Mitchell. Mitchell gives it off to Tui. Can Tui goal from there? Just 2 paces and the kick falls short and eventually hits the behind post. So we'll have a boundary throw in that forward pocket. Michael Gale there. Up over the top. Henwood. Mitchell ducks the tackle. Ryan. Snapshot by Matt Ryan goes across the face and it's out of bounds in the opposite forward pocket. We'll have a boundary throw in.
When you reflect on Fitzroy's performance then, you'd say Ruse and Dundas being good players if you just looked at the scoreboard. 9 goals between them, but really you wouldn't put them into the good player category.
Aythorne was hemmed in. Good work there by Matt Ryan. And at least the Swans haven't given up. They've really had a go. Although Fitzroy seemed to have had control from early in the match, from about quarter time onwards. But players like Eustace, Stevie Wright, Barry Mitchell, Higgins, Henwood, they've had some real goers. And it's only been perhaps a little bit of steadiness by Fitzroy. Experienced players, Ruse, Ironmonger, Pert. There's Henwood again in there having a go. Wheeler having a go. Slips over. Gets the hand pass out towards right. There's been a free kick picked out, and it's going to Matthew Wheeler. He's about 2 kicks from goal.
Goes into half forward, Wheeler. Pert comes over the top. Shane Fell attempts a soccer off the ground. It's been a black day for him. Wind does the shepherding work. And again, the Lions are able to bring it away, but only as far as Leon Higgins.
Well, I reckon that just is a terrific example of kicking across goal, isn't it? Don't you think, Don?
It's a tired kick, isn't it? It was just a missed kick. It's an old adage, you never go across goal, but they do in today's football.
And Higgins has taken full advantage of it. He kicks his first. Sydney battle on. They're 10-11, 71. Fitzroy 15-13, 103.
Do you think when that happens that you can get into a really bad habit, and when you're in a crunch situation, you're going to do that?
Well, you're going to do it instinctively, aren't you? It's just the same as when you handball. You handball, if you do it, well, they do it instinctively now, and guys, you know, do run themselves into trouble sometimes.
Ironmonger gets a kick down towards half forward. West and Ruse contesting. Also there, Dundas and Kickett. Dundas can't keep it in play, and a throw in on the 50-metre line. Dundas kicked 4 goals in the second quarter and 1 in the first. For a game tally so far of 5, and Paul Roos has kicked 4, all of those in this term. They're the main 2 contributors on the ground. Tui under pressure, may get a free kick. So Bernard Toohey at half-back gives it across to Barry Mitchell. Mitchell just floats it. Wasn't a good kick, and the mark taken by Mark Bunn. Bunn in towards the centre. Well, Higgins could have taken it, but didn't. Ian Roberts. Jimmy Wind. Free going the way of Roberts. Plays on quickly with the hand pass. Down towards half forward. Luff under pressure. Socket away from him, but straight to West, finding Ryan almost on the 50-metre line. He'll kick from 50, but only kick short.
No, play on.
Play on is called, and Barry Mitchell has lost it.
I think that travelled 10 metres.
But what chance did Barry Mitchell have of getting rid of the ball? The tackle was a good one. The ball's held in. Glad if I know.
Wind from half-back. Henwood tries to keep out Ironmonger, but is not successful. Lloyd wants a path and eventually finds it through to Starbuck, down to the 50-metre line, and Gale sees it over. So time ticking down, and Fitzroy on their way to a well-earned victory. There's Ironmonger, hammers it back towards the wing. He's been quite inspirational today. Baldwin gets a kick down towards the left half forward flank. Dundas misses it. Page tries to push forward to accommodate Wright. That's successful. File and claim. Could have got one in the back. And eventually over the line. And another throw in to take place, with Paul Starbuck picking himself up. Right on centre wing. Ironmonger and Henwood. A couple of strong boys there. It's the latter who wins it, but only to push it over the line again for Mark Aythorne to hand it over for another throw-in. Ironmonger and Henwood again. This time Ironmonger, but down to Toohey. Couldn't trap it cleanly at the first attempt. Rose got him. Wheeler gets a kick of sorts and then shovels it out the back door. Aythorne runs into Lloyd. Broderick gets the quick hand pass away. Baldwin, a kick to half forward. The Lions looking to go on with it. Wine takes it from Lynch, sets sail for home with a long kick, and there's another one.
When you can buy an Australian-made car in LA, drink a Foster's in London, when the world is held hostage in Lebanon, and your TV comes from Taiwan, when your mortgage depends on decisions in Canberra, you worry about the price of the dollar and the continuing fallout from Chernobyl. When you live this close to the world and the world lives this close to you, everything is local news. 7 Nightly News with Jennifer Kite, weeknights at 6.
And too many players in the centre square for the Swans, so the free kick taken by Fitzroy up towards full forward. Cordy fumbles. Roberts, Mitchell gets through. Left foot kick by that player goes wide. Stevie Wright gets past Aythorne. Stevie Wright's kick towards centre half forward. Luff, good mark in front of Gale. Now, don't know too much about this guy's kicking ability, but obviously he fancies his chances of getting the distance. He's got to kick at 50 metres. He's kicked it a little too high to the front of the goal square. Fell can't mark. Fitzroy defence working hard there. Johnston, Matt Ryan. And the ball over for a boundary throw-in. It's in the left forward pocket. Ironmonger doing the ruck work. Henwood, 2 strong men. Henwood interferes with the Fitzroy big man. And John Ironmonger will take the free kick in the back pocket. So the Lions will win this match and just get themselves a little bit away from that very, very unwanted bottom position on the ladder. Gale streaming through the centre after a couple of bounces. Michael Gale may even kick a goal. Magnificent kick. And Michael Gale, who's come from the back pocket, he was back there guarding the goal just a few seconds ago, streams down the ground and kicks Fitzroy's 17th goal.
Well, what a great effort on the edge of the centre wing there, and he is the back flanker, and I love to see backmen running out. It really does put the pressure on the forwards. And especially when you kick a goal like that. Magic. 60 metres.
It's been a 7-goal quarter so far by the Lions. 71 plays 115. And they're looking to go on with it. Holding the ball. It's got to come back. However, Jason Baldwin to half forward. Ruse and Kickett both there. Kickett at the bottom. Wright could get a free kick.
He's played well, Stevie Wright.
Always a go once he puts that red and white on. Comes right across goal but finds Leon Higgins. Shepherding sees him clear. Higgins pulls it back in towards the wing area. Stevens couldn't take it cleanly. Bursting his way through his Starbuck, but he's claimed at the second attempt. But
see, that's what we talked about programming before, Ian. He was programmed to handball that time. I think he would have been better had he have thought of a kick, but they are, and they do think of handballing first.
Baldwin again. Inside 50 in a congested area there too. Right. Getting the hand pass away. Kickett working hard. Ian Roberts at the bottom.
And Bernard Tui's gone off the ground, Sandy. He's holding his left arm, so I don't think he's too good.
Still inside 50. Higgins will see it over the line.
Actually doesn't look too good at all, Bernard Tui, as he walks around the boundary line. He's hanging the left shoulder.
Well, that's all they need, Sydney. Another key player out. They've had a rough run. Here's Lloyd. Looking to give it off. Eventually does to Barry Mitchell, who stabs up towards centre wing. Oh, and a great attempt to mark by Kelly. There is Tui very tentatively walking around the ground. So bad news for Sydney as Kelly goes on with it and goes short to Wright. Stevie Wright, a quick hand pass on to Henwood. Henwood's at centre wing, looking up towards the half forward line, and very good use of the body by Stevens sees him mark at half back. Brett Stevens to the wing area again. Henwood in from behind. Rowe gets a hurried right foot kick across the centre. Lynch a lightning hand pass to Baldwin. He steadies, has a look up forward. No one able to pick it up for Fitzroy. It's Jim West. Gets the hand pass out. He finds Ian Roberts and he just sneaks away from Matera. Enough time to get his kick. Had nowhere to go, but gathered some valuable ground. Throw in some 65 metres from the Fitzroy goal. They are very keen to go on with it. Matera gets the hand pass away. The kick is off target and one behind only to that player in Anthony Woods, who started the day with a goal, and that's the only goal he's got. This is Jim West. And this is Lloyd. Sydney very easily able to run it out through Filan, but that kick lands with Gale. There it is. Victory to the Lions. And a cause for a roar because Fitzroy have won this match quite convincingly in the end. The final scoreline 17-14, 116. Sydney 10-11, 71. Disappointment for the Sydney Swans players as they leave the ground. Injury riddled, they tried their heart out, but jubilation for the young Lions as Jimmy Wine there, boots off, and just coming to meet those players coming in, shaking their hands and saying a job well done. They came up here with a mission with coach Curly Austin, just 3 wins for the season. They wanted something desperate to happen and they got it. Sydney, Last look to the future, and, well, if they can get some players back, who knows, they could still be a force. But the honours lying with Fitzroy as Gary Pert and Paul Roos, John Ironmonger lead their team off. Matthew Wheeler leaves the ground. And just repeating our final score, Fitzroy 17-14, Sydney 10-11.
As you said, we win by 8 goals, we would have taken it. So from that point of view, it was good to get the 4 points on the board.
You've got some very promising young players that we haven't seen up here before. Can you obviously hope for the club?
Oh, I think so. I mean, we've been hit by injury and suspensions over the whole year and haven't really had our full side at any one stage. And players like Bunn and Athorn and young Matty Dundas in the forward pocket, Kickett's come on a bit. You know, they've all been good contributors and helped us. Woods and Baldwin on the wings. You know, they're all kids first year under 19, just 19, 20 years of age.
It might be an unusual question to ask a coach at the bottom of the table, but are you enjoying things?
Oh, I think the pressure's there and you expect it. When you win, it's good, and when you lose, well, you go back and do your homework again and start again.
2 weeks rest now, then the Eagles. What future for the rest of the season?
Oh, well, we're just, the old cliche, I suppose, is you take it as it comes, but we're looking forward to playing the Eagles. We've got a week to get over our bruises and a couple of players coming back into the side, and we're really looking forward to winning a lot more on the road now.
Thanks very much, Ryan.
Okay, thanks.
Curly Austin speaking there with Cameron Williams.
Bird is also involved in the charge against Philip Egan. Egan is accused of using rough play to throw the Lions vice-captain to the ground. Darren Wilden was the first of the swag of Roy's up tonight. The emergency umpire accused him of dropping his knee into Andy Goodwin. Richard Osborne faces a striking charge on Craig Lambert, and Scott Clayton has been nabbed by the video also for allegedly striking Goodwin. St Kilda rover Jimmy Cracker too fronts the tribunal as a result of the video cameras. He's been charged with striking Collingwood defender Shane Kerrison to the head.
Well, mixed results for Fitzroy so far this evening. Darren Wilden has been found not guilty of unduly rough play, but Richard Osborne has been found guilty of striking, and the tribunal is deliberating on his penalty right now. Pete, in other news from AFL House this afternoon, the Essendon-Collingwood clash for Sunday is sold out, so you'll have to watch that replay.
Right, thank you, Dixie. So